So she is here. This way
Hey,
they tell
Miss
people,
Bonnie.
oh, is Miss Bonnie on?
She sent me a text
Oh,
message personally.
okay. Hopefully she'll get on here.
Let me
It's
mute my
magic,
mic so it
Angie.
won't be so echo.
That's what Kevin says. That's why you got lost. LOL. If Bugs Bunny taught me anything, it really looks breezy and cool on the cat beds. It
All right,
is.
all y'all that are now on my pages, I'm at the Sonoran. What is it?
Well, it's called Metaphysical and
The
Wellness Market.
metaphysical. Oh, there it is. Look, it's right there. Metaphysical and Wellness Market. We're on Glen Rosa and 7th Avenue. It is so nice out here. There's vendors everywhere. Sherry Berry is here with her teas. And I just showed you all the teas that I got from Sherry Berry. Lavita's here. Rose is here. Miss Linda's here. Oh my gosh, so many people here. Miss Julie's here. Don's. I haven't even seen Don.
Don
Where's
is
Don?
Susan.
He's running around doing
I
all kinds
went
of stuff.
looking for it and I couldn't find it.
I saw Susan. She's giving a reading, and her whole group. It was a group of ladies. They was sitting there
Yes,
like
like
what?
three of
They
them.
was paying attention to everything. And Miss Susan was boom, 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 boom. Y'all need to come get a reading from Miss Susan. Like I said, there's a lady here who does soul reading. She'll give you a free 15-minute little session, and then y'all come on out here so I can do my show at 1 o'clock. And Don and Miss Susan about to go on at 12 o'clock. So we need an audience to talk to. So y'all come on down here and at least come sit in the audience. It's free. Free 99. You can't beat free. Just come on out here and sit in the group, okay, y'all? And I changed 3 times. Y'all need to come see my outfit.
And
And
I
I got
love
shades.
it.
Wait, y'all look at my shades. Hold on.
Oh,
See, I brought my shades too. See, y'all come on down here and see me. But we're having a good time. And did I tell y'all? I didn't tell y'all on my group, but I told y'all on everybody else on Miss Judy's channel. They got alcoholic drinks over there. They got good food over there. They got this lady right here got jewelry that I'm about to go and look at because I was looking for a necklace to put on and I couldn't find my necklace. So I'm gonna go over there and see if she got a nice little necklace for me. And then what else? Oh, there's Don way over there. He don't know I'm here yet, so he'll probably be in soon. And everybody looks so pretty. Everybody's having a good time. So y'all come on out and have a good time with us. And there's a tall drink of water back here that y'all don't see. Y'all need to come see him. I think he worked in a restaurant. He tall, tall. Y'all need to come see him too. But it's a good day, y'all. Y'all should come on in and have a good time. Y'all know I love to talk. Miss Julie don't put me on at 1 o'clock. We're gonna be here at 5 o'clock, and I'm still gonna be talking. But come on out, y'all. Have a good time. It's free, free, free. All you're doing is coming and supporting us, sitting in the audience. You can ask questions. I might do some readings if the spirit is upon me. I called my guys in and told them to come on down and to help me out. Let me see. Yes, Miss Bonnie drinks. Well, they're not included, but you can get some drinks over there. And the little lady, she said they kind of strong. So, like I said, I'm not gonna do the drinks before I get on stage because y'all will get Andrew Dice Clay. But I'm gonna do them after I get off the stage and mellow down. And they got the nice fan on, so if my menopausal rage heat come through, then but if they do come through, Miss Sherry got a tea for it. I just brought detox tea, meditation tea with blue lotus in it, so you can connect higher with spirit. So all y'all be talking about, oh, I want to talk higher to my guys and to the Lord. Come on down, Miss Sherry Berry got some tea. Let me get the tea again. Hold on, y'all. They in these cute little packets right here. Miss Sherry Berry makeup. They only $15, y'all. And this is personally made. And when she makes your tea for you, Spirit tells her what else you need. So I got the like I said, the meditation tea. This is the one with the blue lotus in it. And me and Lester were talking about this the other day. Um, that's the one that gives you the connection to spirit. And then she made me the detox tea with the dandelion rooted and the burdock root. Lester again told me I need all that stuff. And everybody else was telling me that, when you get old, you need so many supplements. You need more supplements than you need food. If I ate all the supplements that they told me to eat, I wouldn't even need no food. And then they got the meditation. Did I say that twice? Y'all, I might need to go back and get the brain fog tea because I can't even remember what I just said. Oh, immunity boost. That's the other one. Immunity, because you never just know. You just never know. You might pick up some, germs everywhere, the little critters all around. She got the immunity tea, and she got some other stuff out there. And again, she'll make you a personal tea. And then when she makes her personal tea, Spirit will tell her what you need, and she'll put a little extra in there to cure whatever it is you need. So she's definitely making me that hot fire tea. But again, like I keep telling y'all, I think the Lord be telling me to shut up, and so He just turned the furnace on, and I'll just be like, whoosh, super hot. And then once I stop talking, then He turned the furnace down, and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. But you guys should come on out here and have a good time with us. It is We're having a great day. I just got here, y'all, so I'm extra high energy. But yeah, yeah. And this is after I went out last night. So if I can come out here last night after I went out, I'll tell y'all about that when I get on stage about when I went out. Because Lord help the child, there was so much going on last night. I was so overwhelmed. But y'all come on out here and just see what we're doing, and come and have a good time. I wish I'd have been on my camera. So wait, can y'all see? Let me see y'all. I can take y'all around. Let me see if I can take y'all around the mulberry bush on my little thing here. Am I still logged in? I'm still logged in. So let me see if I can take y'all around so y'all can see everybody on my little thing here. Wait, I don't even know where it's at. Look, technology is not my friend. If you know technology, come down here and help a sister out because I don't have no idea what I'm doing. So I see I am live. Um, but where's my camera so I can take y'all with me? Um, I don't know where that is. So let me see if I can get y'all and take y'all on a live shot with me. Wait, let me get my restream camera. Girl, I don't open up everything. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me see that. Not that one. Not that one. Not that. I got 45 windows open, and none of them seem to be taking me where I want to be. Oh, maybe this is it. Wait, hold on. This is it. Oh, wait a minute. Unable to connect. What have I done? Lord help the child, y'all. Retry. Okay, there it is. Is this me? Wait, let me. Can I flip the camera? Girl, I don't know what I'm doing. Join.
So is Tina coming down? Who else is
I
coming
don't
down?
know. Let me ask. Oh, it
Andrea,
just says that I joined. Look, where I've been this whole time. Wait, let me see what Keena's doing.
Crystal June. Crystal's in. I know technology. What's going on here? Well, we're having this.
I want to take y'all on a tour on my restream, but I gotta find the camera that I'm using on my phone so I can take y'all in there and we can be live on here too. But hold on, let me find it. I'm
Yeah, you
texting
were
Keena y'all
on.
to make her feel bad
You
so she
were
come
on
down
here,
here.
but what happened to you?
I don't know. Wait, oh, I think every time I close out the window, let me see, because it
Okay.
make me join again. Oh, see, it keeps saying connected, so I'm gonna keep the
Yeah.
window up.
Okay.
Am I back?
Not yet.
It says connecting, so I'm coming back,
Okay.
y'all. Oh, I turned the mic off too, so it wouldn't be
There she
echo.
is.
Oh, there I am. Hey, y'all, I'm back. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna leave the window open.
Okay.
But let me see where my camera at. Is it facing me? Oh, there I am. Hi, y'all. Let me see. Can I flip the camera? Let me see.
Should be able to-
Front face. Oh, back facing. Oh wait, I might have to. Oh, bam, we got action. Let's go,
right.
y'all.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, baby. I'll see you. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay, y'all.
Don and Susan will be here in a few minutes.
All right.
They got 10 minutes to go. What's happening, guys?
What's that? mic is not on. I think it will change.
Y'all so whack. Why y'all didn't tell me y'all could hear me? I done left the microphone 5 pages back here. I done gave y'all a whole synopsis of everything that's going on here, and y'all ain't heard nothing. Back out here to Miss Sherry Berry so y'all can hear it one more time. My microphone was way back in here in the other room. Back to the table, Sherry Berry, Lavita, the realtor. She can help you with your real estate needs. Sherry Berry, this is the key. Let me tell y'all one more time because now I got the microphone. I left it in there last time. So this is the get. Um, she got the Oh, that must be Bonnie. Was that you calling me to tell me you couldn't hear me and I'm just talking indefinitely to nobody? Thank you, Miss Bonnie. And then there's Miss Linda doing reflexology. There's Miss Susan doing her readings, and Miss Susan is getting them in, right? And so look, it's just a really nice space. Everything is pretty and nice. Look at Don, look at so handsome back. Yeah, yeah, this is my buddy right here. I'm telling y'all, if y'all want a house, she'll tell it to you. You want to see? Yes, and this tea is good. If you need to be knocked out, Miss Listen, she'll knock you out and you'll be asleep for 2 days. If that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, she'll give you whatever else you need. So come on down here and get the tea. All the people down here. Having just the lady that does the soul readings right here. So y'all need to come see her soul reading. I'm sorry, I'm just advertising. Come get a soul reading for her. Here's John, my favorite guru. Back here. John! Hey, look. Oh, oh my gosh. Don, I've been walking around for 30 minutes with no microphone, just showing everybody stuff. Miss Bonnie called me. I said, oh, wait, where's my microphone? I had to run back in there, do my whole show all over again. But I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm so excited, Don. I'm telling them to come on down here. And look at Don. He's talking about how thin I am. Look how thin Don is. Don looks amazing. And look, I heard all Don candles smell so good. So let me look. Let me get this is awakening. Oh, I love it. Oh, y'all should come get that one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Meditation. Oh, all of them smell good.
Remember, this is the scent that I worked with
Thank
the
you,
lady across the
Crystal.
street, lotions and potions, for 2 weeks. She
Oh,
developed my own
really?
unique scents, and this is that. And it's 4 different things put together to make that
I
scent.
like that too. It got a little vanilla in it.
There's a little bit
I
of
like the
something
vanilla.
special
I
in there.
like
Yes,
that.
4 different things.
Look, y'all want some abundance? He got a candle right for it. Come get that abundance candle. And it's pretty. And it smells
And
good.
if you're looking for passion,
Yes, listen, all y'all want them love readings? Come on out. Look, Miss Bonnie, I'm about to send you one of these passion things right
look at
here.
this one.
Oh, tranquility. There you
Tranquility
go.
and a beautiful color there, too.
Exactly. Selenite. Listen, you always see me rubbing this across my head because I've been needing to clear my thoughts. He got the selenite. He got bracelets. He got Palo Santo, amethyst, amethyst. All the books. Come on over to the book collection. Oh, everybody gets a read. Get to see. You get a free amethyst. Clear your head. You got space in between. The ultimate power within. The medium, and this one. You know that's my favorite. I ain't gonna tell y'all why though. He got the little pyramids right here and the bookmark. You get a free bookmark. You get a free bookmark. Come on down to get a bookmark. Oh, and the little kids, don't even forget the little. He got English and Spanish versions of the book, and the book is amazing. And look, I gotta show y'all this because who's in there?
Of course.
A is for alligator. Angie, that's me. Come on down to see me. And then look at Don, look at so handsome. What up? Y'all need to come on down here and have a good time. We're having a great time. Don and Susan are about to go on in like, oh, 2 minutes? 2 minutes. It's 12 o'clock. Look, Don don't even know. Exactly. We're on our way. We're on our way. Come on down, y'all. We need an audience to talk to. Look at Miss Trish over there doing her reading.
Y'all come on down. It's free to get in. Like you can't be free 99 people. Come on down and see all these beautiful people down here and have a good time. John, like I said, Don and Susan are about to go on in the maze, y'all. I'm about to ask 50,000 questions too. And then I'm gonna go up there. She put me on at 1 o'clock. We go still get here at 5 o'clock. Cause y'all know I got 5,000 stories. I got 4 stories from just last night going out to the bar. Jesus, people. All right, y'all, let's go. Um, we're going to back inside. Oh, y'all remember I told you I was alcoholic? Oh, wait, look at me in this mirror right here. Do y'all see me bad? It's even pet friendly. Bring your little pets out here too. So look, they're buying the tea. The tea is good. The tea is good. All right, I'm going back on so I can get that good tea. I'm gonna turn my microphone off like it should be. Look, here's Julie. She's coming to crack the whip. Where y'all at? She coming to get John and Susan and bring them where they supposed to be. All right, so we're coming back in here. I'm going to sit down. I'm about to listen to the presentation. I'm about to be front row center because y'all know I'm nosy and I like to ask a lot of questions. So let me get on up here. And if y'all come down here, y'all might get a free reading. Like seriously, we got spirits everywhere. We got readers here. Um, had you been here for Trish or Rose, you probably would have got a free reading. So come on down here and have a good time. This is where they're gonna be sitting on stage right here, where they're gonna be standing or wherever they gonna be. And then y'all, I did say drinks, didn't I? Wait, let me turn the camera back so y'all can see me. I'm back, y'all. Hey. So let me put my glasses on. Okay. I feel like I need to shut it down. Okay. So when they come on, I'm gonna talk to them. So, oh, here they come. Okay, now I gotta go. Let me turn my turn the camera back so y'all can listen to them. And then I'm gonna turn my microphone on so I won't be loud because y'all know I'm on. All right, see y'all. Y'all better come down here. I'm not playing.
We're on stage.
Get on
We're
stage.
stagifying.
We're stagifying. Okay. This is on testing, testing. So Susan, which color would you like today? I think this one is yours, right? There's no purple today. Surprise, surprise. Oh, you have your, yes, you get up here. Would you want to help out? Yeah. Oops. Okay.
One, choose.
What? No, you wouldn't want to.
You know I wasn't gonna miss it. I told them to come on down.
Susan gets walking down. I don't want her to fall off the edge.
Oh, you can walk?
Well, I'm gonna stand.
She walks and talks.
Okay.
So maybe just have one seat. Then so one seat. So we have more space to walk and talk. Sure.
However you guys want to do this.
All right then.
Somebody's got their finger
I like
over
the
the
sound
camera
of it.
here.
Ooh.
Oh, me, sorry.
Did you want to flip it? I don't know what you want to do.
I'm trying to get it set up.
Okay. So, I know these two need no introduction whatsoever. I've interviewed them a couple times, individually and together. So, yes, but I'm talking to those people. Crystal's there, Kevin's there, we've got Katie, we've got everybody.
Hey Crystal, hey Kevin, hey Katie, how are you?
And I told
Welcome
them,
in.
if you need, if we would need some more people to read, they can put their questions. But anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, so without further ado, Don and Susan from the Mediums.
You can start. You can start. She's like, I don't know how to start because he's always the one that starts. He's the mouthy one. Welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you guys being here. We'll be here all week, by the way, so don't forget to come back tomorrow night. That's my other act. Get you going?
We are having a wonderful time. It's exciting. It's fun.
You need the microphone.
It's exciting and it's fun. And I'm in the perfect spot. I have Mr. on me. I have Van on me.
When she talks to Mr. If you're not in Arizona, she means Mr. with the moisture, not Mr. Yeah, okay, so making sure we're clear on that. It's not that kind of event, all right?
Come on in, guys.
Come on in, have a seat, You're welcome.
Don't be shy.
Go ahead.
So Don and I, he's like my best friend. He's a good guy. He's a good partner. We have a lot of fun. We do mediumship. We do messages from the other side for you guys, and we wrote a book together on mediumship. So it's a book that you can learn how to do your own mediumship. All right, Hilda's got one.
I was gonna say neither one of us
Hilda.
brought a copy. Neither one of us brought a copy. That's terrible. It's not a bad market for you.
Well, here's some more people.
Yes, yes.
Come in, come in.
Yeah.
Well, before you go, I can tell you this much: is I paid her very well to give you all this kudos. She wasn't cheap. She's not cheap.
Woo!
No, we like the
Careful.
best in life, don't we?
Exactly.
Bring it on.
Well, for those of you, let's start at ground zero. For those of you who do not understand, Susan and I have a strong belief that is tied to evidence that our spirit energy lives beyond physical death. Okay? I am somebody who was wrong, kicking and dragging and screaming I did not want to be a medium. I was not a medium. I was very clear I was not a medium. And my mentor, Tina, kept saying, "You're a medium." I'm like, "I'm not a medium. You're a medium. I'm a medium." Read my face. I do the Angie thing. Look at my face. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, I eventually had an amazing reading that woke me up to realize the benefits that a medium can bring, because I didn't want it as part of my experience. Doesn't mean that it was not naturally there, because we all naturally have mediumship abilities. It's just we have to tap into them again, because sometimes we suppress them for whatever reason, history, life, spiritual, whatever. And for me, I was like, I don't see the benefit, because I already am psychic, I'm already a tarot reader, I already tap into the energies I need. What does mediumship bring me additionally? And again, that's the component I missed. Because you see, when I first started my careers, way back when, as you can see, I've earned the gray hair, I was an engineer. And so the science side of me was very, very prevalent. And yet I still had the gifts, and I kept them a little bit quiet because it didn't fit in the scientific world. Then I moved from engineering into real estate investing, as well as becoming an attorney. And that didn't work either when it comes to metaphysical, because metaphysical doesn't fit. You know why metaphysical doesn't fit? Because I didn't let it. That's the lesson I needed to learn. That's one of the biggest lessons, is I told myself, based on my prejudices, that it doesn't fit, so I have to keep it quiet. It doesn't fit because people won't understand. Who cares? That's the point I had to realize. Who cares? And so the good part is in my later life, I came out of the metaphysical closet. I said, you know what? This is me. I'm loud and proud. Here I am. And in so doing, it helped me to embrace other things. And then Tina kept telling me, you are. I'm not. You are. And then eventually I had an amazing reading, which made me realize the benefit of being a medium. And realizing I was already there, but again, not opening myself to it. And ultimately, it came in and I embraced it. And as I was doing that, I also met Susan and met Miss Angie over here. And Miss Angie over here, she is my co-worker crime when it comes initially to my mediumship, because she and I would be in class together. And she'd be on one side of the room and I'm on the other side of the room. And she's reading for somebody and I'm reading for somebody else as we're practicing a practice class. And before I know it, I'm reading for her person, she's reading for my person, or she would pick up the energy from my person and we would have a great conversation. The point is, it's amazing how energy works, and how when you find the right team, and you find the right group, you elevate yourself and you elevate them, and this is a shared community situation. And mediumship did that with Susan and I, because as soon as Susan and I started working and talking about mediumship, we found a common bond, a common experience. Even though we both do mediumship very differently, even though we both come at it from very different points of view, and even though we both see it sometimes differently with some of the things that are around it, the one thing that we're sure about is, first and foremost, there is life after physical death. You do live on. We also believe very strongly when you do mediumship, you do evidential mediumship. So what I'm saying is this, is that I want to make sure when I do a reading, that I come to you and give you 2, 3, or 4 pieces of evidence that I would not know, nor any stranger would not know, of the person who I'm receiving. So therefore, when I talk to you and deliver the message to you, then that message will be received because you don't have doubt, because you know indeed that person must be here. And that's the third component is the message. So again, connecting to a spirit, giving evidence that they are there and that you have connected to a specific person, and then ultimately giving that message. And that message usually is of hope, of understanding, some type of closure, and most importantly, it's not meant to trigger and it's not meant to show, oh, have a good weekend. Because if I am thinking that, then I'm not a good weekend. Because our ego should not be involved. Whether we're right or wrong, in our heads should not be involved. It's the person who's receiving the message. Does it matter with them if they get it right? And when I say right or wrong, it's interesting because when I read Bill's husband one time, and I read about a helicopter crash, and he's like, and I'm thinking, you survived the helicopter crash because this person was in, and he's telling me, and he's like, I did. And I'm like, what? In my world, that would never happen because I always thought helicopter crash, everybody did. You know, not him. Her husband is Superman. He survived it. And so, again, we have to, as mediums, dismiss what is not in our minds in our world because it's not our reading. It's a message from them to the person in front of you. All we do is deliver. And I'm going to turn over to Susan because I'm just ready to run.
Well, anyway, we had totally different lifestyles. He got into science and jobs that I would have never done. I don't have a scientific mind and everything. I was more in the arts and everything in school. But growing up, I had this sensational desire to learn more and more. And every time anything metaphysical or ghosts or anything popped up on TV or anything, I couldn't get enough of it. And so when I started doing the tarot cards about 50 years ago, I just felt like this is my answer. I mean, it just made sense to me. When I picked up the cards, I would just hear things or see things or get messages from the other side. And this went on and on for many years. And then Dawn and I met in a mediumship class. And, he does things a little differently, but we both agree with the same things that the mediumship is healing. It helps people. Heal their loss. And that's what we do it for because it's our job to help them feel better, to make their lives better. They're never really alone. Their loved ones are all around you. And we teach classes, workshops, how to recognize when your loved one is near you. You learn this all the time. But, it's just a different world. And combining the two of them brings balance into people's lives. And, he and I work together great because he'll start something, I'll finish it, or I start something and he finishes it. We just, balance each other out, and we're both there for the same reasons, but we just do things a little differently. And we love it. That's why we do it. Always find a passion in life. Find out what really turns you on, what really excites you. Go after it. And especially when you feel like you're helping other people. That's what we're here for. We're all here to help each other and have better lives. And make this world terrific, because it can be terrific. We're going in that direction. We've got a few hurdles to pass, but it's going to be a beautiful world someday. Hopefully we're all meant to see it. But why not get the help from the other side? We have angels, we have guides, we have loved ones that are there to help us all the time. We just have to ask. That's what we're here for. That's what Dawn and I are here for. So that you can learn to do mediumship for yourself. That you don't have to just, watch other people. Everybody has their own ways of doing it, and we help you develop that. So it's great, right?
Absolutely. And as we wrote this book, we wrote the book as two practitioners, but we also wrote the book as coming from the point of where should we start and what do we need? What do we need people to know how they develop their skill sets and so forth. And so this is a true, we call it a guidebook because it truly is a guidebook. It starts from zero and helps you learn, okay, if I'm new to this, what is mediumship? Okay, once I know what mediumship, what do I connect? How do I connect? We teach you how to do that. Then we take it another step higher. Once we get you to connect to energy, because again, everything is energy. Energy. This is the thing that was probably the most important to me as a scientist, with the scientific mind, was understanding the energy concept. Because that every light worker knew that, and for some reason, again, I could not see this if I put it through my prism of how I understand and determine that energy works. And of course, energy is E equals MC squared. Energy is never destroyed, it's never created, so it always exists. It only changed forms, but again, never created, never destroyed. And so that was the key for me. I'm like, okay, wow, now I get that, and I understand that part of it, and now I understand energy around us because we are energy workers, we are light workers. We pick up on energy because when you have an energy, when you are energy, you create an energy field. And as you create that energy field, and then I am over here in my energy bubble, my energy field, okay? And Susan's over here in her energy field. As I send my energy toward her, or as I get closer, you can't see it with the visible eye, but a scientist will know that our energy fields, the electrons, they are now connecting. And remember, when you start a conversation, if I were to come to Monique here, and I would say, Monique, can I give you a reading? As soon as I started to say Monique, she's kind of doing the, yeah, I have already an implied contract that we're going to share energy. Right there. We're not just looking at each other, we're not just hearing, we already are sharing energy. And as we share energy, then I'm picking up the energy around her, the energy in her field. And as I pick up the energy around her and the energy in her field, that field of energy then shares with me things that are part of her past. And we call that the auric field. We call that a number of things, but that's what I'm picking up. That same energy, but not the same level, is when the mediumship comes in. Because mediumship is a higher level, it's a higher vibration than psychic energy. So you can be a great psychic and yet not be a medium, but all mediums are great psychics. All mediums are psychics. I'm not going to say they're great. Can't go that far. But all psychics are mediums. I mean, all mediums are psychics, but not all psychics are mediums. And I was one of the psychics who was not a medium necessarily. So once I connect in that energy level, I realize where it sits. And then I have you as you then develop your understanding and connect in mediumship, we help you raise your vibrational energy. And as you raise your vibrational energy at 4 to 7.5 megahertz, that's the theta level. As you raise your energy to that level, then you are at a higher consciousness, a higher energy vibration, and then you are able to connect to the spirits on the other side because now they are down at that level. Their level and your level has to be in that same range. And then once that's the case, it's kind of like it's interesting. It's like the noise between silence and very loud. It's interesting. So once you connect, then spirit will show up. And so all of a sudden, I may see beside this young lady, I may see her grandmother or her mother. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, who is this person? Or I may feel the energy around there because every medium does it differently. So I may actually see, or I may feel, because I may just know. I may taste, I may hear, I may whatever, because she may speak to me, but I don't know. She may give me a flavor of something that she bakes, so then we know what that means. All those things, and in so doing, in that communication, he, the energy on this side, gives us specific data and helps us to understand it, therefore then we can relate it. So when you are starting your mediumship journey, the first and most important thing is practice understanding and recognizing and accepting energy. And as soon as you start understanding energy, it's going to freak you out a little bit too, because from time to time you're going to get energy that you're like, whoa, that was time. Somebody would walk in the room and you're thinking, whoa, that was not so cool. And you're thinking, and then you realize somebody else said, man, that person's they're always negative. They're always bringing energy, and again, that's the cross you bear when you are doing mediumship and psychic work. Is having that ability to pick up those energies. And sometimes you also are gifted in that sense because you can pick up the social cues when it's time to move on, which is what I'm going to do as Susan because I've been talking in too long.
So the most important thing is to realize that yes, maybe the physical body will die, but we never die. We live on and on and on, and we live forever. So mediumship is about bringing proof to you that your loved ones around you do exist, and we will give you evidence to let you know who's around you. We will give you specific evidence so that you'll know, oh yeah, that's my Uncle Jack. I know who that is. Because this thing's about who we are. When we go on the other side, we're still us. We still have our own personality. Nothing's changed. We don't have the body, but everything is still the same. And you go on the other side, you still have all those memories. Maybe somebody's going to say, I'm your uncle. Their Uncle Joe, and I was with you, even though I'm not with you in the physical. I was with you 2 weeks ago when you were at a wedding. They'll give you specific information so that you know exactly who they are. So just because they're on the other side, they're with you. You may be finding money on the ground. You may find feathers on the ground. You may be driving along and you see a truck go by with Joe's Bakery. And then all of a sudden you think, oh yeah, that's Joe, just letting you know he's around you. Or you hear music, you hear a song that maybe your dad sang to you when you were an infant. And they're around us all the time. Maybe in a crowd you see your aunt's face. She's already gone. But that's to remind you your aunt's with you. But they're around us all the time. They play music. You may smell a particular fragrance that your grandmother wore, and that reminds you of your grandmother. They are around us. They'll let us know. Sometimes you'll hear your name called, and you'll say, "Oh, there's nobody here," but they're calling your name. So just know that they're around you. They love you, and they just every now and then they want you to know that they're there. They are there to support you, to help you. So.
And I'm going to give you a little bit of the synopsis of the story of the first chapter of our book, because when we sat down to write this book again, we put a lot of work, and Susan and my writing style is very different, and so I would come up with something, then she would come up with something, and we were competing. So then we had to sit down and say, okay, let's put this together and see how this can make sense, because again, our key factors were the same, which is wonderful. That's the coolest part about it. As we wrote this book, we realized how so much in common our beliefs with mediumship is and how it works. And so we were able to she would write something, I'd write it, we put it together, like, oh my gosh, it's all right there, it's wonderful. But it's kind of interesting, is we decided when we got done, we're like, okay, we need something to open the book up that will really get people's attention. And I had done a video. I was traveling to Pennsylvania, and I was going through Denver Airport. I fly United because we're a pilot thing. And so we get lifetime gold. And so I love to take advantage of that. So I went in, so we flew through Denver, and I usually have about 30 minutes. If you've been through Denver Airport, 30 minutes is not enough time to get to the next airplane. And I'm always in the next terminal. They never put me in the same terminal. This one day, I did not ask my gatekeeper to keep the noise down. I did not, because I'm always busy. I'm traveling so much and busy that I don't worry about the energies coming in. Well, this day was a little different because I landed in Denver, and my gate was right across the aisle. Right across the aisle. I'm like, how does that work? But it's okay. We have 30 seconds, 30 minutes. No, I had an hour and a half. So I'm like, what do I do with myself? I walk over, goes over, I sit down, and I'm just kind of scanning the place, and I look in front of me, and I see this woman, and then an older woman beside her with her hair, salt and pepper, and a little back in a bun, and she looked kind of different. They were dressed differently. The younger woman was on her phone. You all know what that looks like because we all done that. I'm not giving anybody away here, but we've all done that like this. And when you're in the busy places, you kind of get into your phone. And the woman was there. And so I looked, and I'm like, and I kind of looked down. And with mediumship, if a female comes in, an older female, I get cold. I get very cold. And if a male comes in, I get warmer. And so all of a sudden, I get the chill, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's somebody here, right? And I look up, and I scan, and the two ladies in front of me, I'm like, and the older woman's like this, and I'm thinking, no. I'm like, okay. And I was like, she's like, can you talk to my daughter? I'm like, I am not talking to your daughter. I am off the clock. No, 9 to 5 here, baby, not now. And she is insistent that I speak to her daughter. And as I'm saying this, by the way, I forgot to mention, the mother wasn't there. She was there for me. I saw her, but she was as physical as you can be in front of me. But I knew she was a spirit. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. So finally, I gave in and I said, okay, I was hoping this would work, but it didn't work. I said, okay, if you get your daughter, who's been on that darn phone all this time and not paying attention to the word, if you get her to acknowledge me, my presence within a short period of time, I will give her your message. I'll be darned if she didn't do it. Within about 20, 30 seconds, after that woman had been sitting there all the time, she looks up at me and just kind of like, I'm like, no, now I got to do this. Now I got to do this. Because I don't like doing that. I'm intruding in her space, and that's not always the most welcome thing. I'm not the Hollywood Matt medium. I'm not Teresa over there in Long Island. I don't do that. It's not comfortable for me, right? So anyway, ultimately, I look up and I made the deal, so I gotta honor the deal. And so I looked up again, and the lady again, she acknowledged, and I said, excuse me, could I bother you one? She said, sure. And this is where the mediums also they're going to offer. So they're not going to jump right into it. They're going to offer because some people are like, don't mess with my field, don't mess in my energy, and I am not interested in what you're selling here because for whatever reason. This woman was. She was very open to it. So I said, I do mediumship and I pick up energies and people on their side. I have a message for you if you're open to it. She said, yeah, I love that stuff. Yay. So anyway, I said, there's a woman sitting beside you, and I explained the physical details of the woman, and the woman shows me this locket, and she tells me about this locket. She tells me about some other things. And so as I'm telling this woman, she's like, yeah. I said, she tells me she's your mother, and yeah, and she's this, and she's this, yeah. And I said, okay, this is the message that she has given to me to give you, and that she loves you very much, and she's okay. And she's like, oh, I appreciate that. Just one thing. My mother is not dead. My jaw drops, and I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, okay, Spirit, this is not the time to claim me to give me new abilities. If that's what this is, I am shocked. The woman's like, oh, don't be upset. I love the message, and that would be my mother's message, by the way. She said, again, she's on the side. I said, okay. And now, of course, on 3 sheets of red, and Mother Nature plays a trick on me, so when I freeze from being so cold, I have to excuse myself from going. So I excused myself and I went to take care of some business. And then when I came back, as I'm coming back, the woman's in tears. And I'm like, this is why I don't do this, because I didn't want this kind of, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm not going to cry. So I come back and I'm thinking, I don't even want to sit there, but I've got to because I own it. I messed it up. I opened that door. I own it. I know that. So I come over and I'm thinking, okay, put on your big boy pants, get ready to take the abuse. I come over, I sit down, I look up, I said, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry to make you cry. She said, you gave me the best gift of my life. And I said, yeah. And she goes, yeah, I just got a phone call. My mother passed. My mother passed. When you read for me, I did not know that. I just got the call. And you cannot understand how much now that reading meant to me. Now I'm like, what do I do with that? So kind of I'm having to fight with the Spirit. Why did you do this? Now I'm like, okay, thank you, Spirit. Anyway, it was an amazing thing because it woke up again that opportunity that we're given, and how it can help to affect the change in someone. And I've had it happen with younger people. I've had a younger kid come in one time that was also altering in my life, and from the reading that he helped to give me to deliver the message to his parents that they needed to hear. It meant so much to me to have that recognition from them that they needed to hear what he said. And so the thing with this is that when you have this ability, when you have this skill set, the one thing that is, I guess, more nurturing than anything else is knowing you can change a life. You can affect a life. You can bring closure. You can bring that last message they needed to hear. You can help them reconnect and give them that one moment. And when that happens, it's a wonderful thing. So I would suggest to everybody, if you have any inkling, if you have any psychic ability or any, and you have any inkling, you should start down the path. First of all, buy a book. That's a plug right there. But not just a book. If you don't want to buy a book, don't buy the book. But give mediumship a try, because when you start down that road, and when you have that first amazing reading, and actually the reading that really made things different for me was a younger gentleman. I know it's about a year ago, so I'm talking about. That younger kid came in, and when he did, it altered everything about the way I thought about this. And so he started that life-altering change for me. And the other readings just kind of cemented it. You have this ability already, you have it. All you have to do is heighten it, embrace it, and celebrate it. Because the person whom you do read for and you deliver that last message, you will be so glad that you brought them what they needed. And that's what we do as light workers. That's what we do.
Miss Angie has something.
Yes.
So one of the questions, or one of the reasons that some people are afraid of like doing mediumship is they're afraid of what the spirits are going to look like. So can you describe your experience with what, like how they present to you? Because I had someone ask me, "What do they look like, dead and puss and in the casket?" I'm like, "Yeah." So can you describe what it looks like, or like when you see them, or when you first, like how that has progressed for you, so people understand what spirits look like when you see them, or what their expectations should be.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a father on the other side?
Not that I know of.
You don't have a father on the other side, or grandfather?
My grandfather.
Okay, because I feel like he's around you, and he's kind of embracing you. He's putting his arms around you, and he's telling me that he's watched everything that you've been doing. He's watched all the difficult times that you've had over the years. And he's also telling you that you're not alone. You've never been alone. And to believe in yourself. And you've helped a lot of people. I don't know what you do for a living or anything, but it's been in a, you've always extended yourself and your love. And just remember, it's not going to go unnoticed. Okay, it's a lot of love there. You have a lot of loved ones on the other side. Yeah. So thank you.
To come back to Angie's question, the people on the other side present themselves in different ways. Okay, first of all, not all of us see them. There are times where I see an energy, and there are times where I don't see the person. There are times I hear them or not hear them. There are times I just know they're there. There are times where I just see shadow or space. There are times where, again, they send me a taste or a sound of a song, or they speak to me, or I smell a certain thing like a cigar. A lot of cigar smokers, oh my goodness, they tend to come back with that because there's not a lot of people who do that. So they know if I say cigar smoker, you're going to know that because that's their energy. So to answer your question, Angie, when they come back, usually it's a strong scent, smell, taste, whatever, that definitely you would know, the person who's receiving the message would know is identified to them. Now, physically, when they do come through, they tend to come through in one of two ways. Sometimes they come through just as they were and when they're in right before they passed. So in their healthiest space before they passed, they'll come in with that image. Because again, they are spirit on their side. They don't have a physical form over there, but they have to present for me or any medium so that we can project that so the person understands it. But again, remember, it's just a physical form. However, there have been a number of readings where, and this happens a lot with military folks, more than any other section. I've noticed this over and over again. Military people tend to have had such an affinity to their connection with their service that often a military person, even if they died at 92 years old, will come back in their younger self in their younger uniform. And that is because, generally speaking, that was their moment. That was when they felt they shined the most. And so you will see, I would often see them, and when it happens, I have to pay attention to what they are looking like, and how the hair is coiffed, how this and that. because then it tells me there's something that'll give it away that tells me they didn't die that young, but they live. This is where they want to present themselves as their best. This is where they felt their best. And often when I do that, it's funny because the people that I'm reading for, where the message is landing, they often tell me, I will tell them, look, your father's here, and he's in a uniform. It looks like it's navy dress blues. And then he shifts it to white because he doesn't like the navy dress blues very much. It's the white uniform because he was actual working bee. He wasn't, a class that would do the dress stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, no, he wasn't, and he didn't like that, of course not. And then I would say, okay, and he's showing me, but he's showing me again. This is the younger him. He did live longer. So is it true that your father passed many years later? Yes. But he's also showing this because that was where he identified most. And when he was in life, he referred himself back to that time, and he talked to a lot of sources about it. And they'll say, yes, it is. So don't be surprised. I'm not surprised when somebody comes in who had an extraordinary early part of their life, that they will actually come back to that. Mothers do this too, because there's some mothers who love to be a mother. And when everybody flew the nest, they didn't know what to do. They felt lost. They felt disconnected. And then they just kind of, oh, I'll get a job, or I'll donate time, or I'll get involved in something. And even being a grandmother for them sometimes wasn't enough. And so mothers often will do the same thing. They'll come in and they'll present as a mom because they don't. And then there was also a mother I read who did not want to be a mother, and it was not her favorite thing to do, and she was very clear about it. And when I told the daughter was like, yeah, that's my mom. Because this mom was somebody who it's not her life, but she had to, because she grew up in a time where it was expected that she would have a family. She could not be a single woman. That would not be possible. This isn't Mary Tyler. This is before Mary Tyler, unfortunately. Mary Tyler Moore. Anyway, so the point is, Angie, going back, a long answer to your question, but yes, they do tend to come back to us, but they often will present in one of two ways. And sometimes it's interesting because I also had a gentleman who come in and he was bald and hair, and I'm like, okay, now you're schizophrenic because you're having me go through shock here, right? Thank goodness I wasn't epileptic, because I'd be doing more of these because of the thing, right? And so when I talked to him, she's like, no, he wasn't bald, and I'm like, but he's bald. Why is he bald? She said, no, he had a full head of hair. I know he shows me the head of hair. It's like this, and it's flopped in. Yeah, no. I'm like, well, why is he bald? And then about 10 minutes into the reading later, she goes, oh, I forgot. Okay, what'd you forget? This is like, come on, this is key. What is it? And she goes, before he passed, we had to shave his head for surgery. And so when he passed, his hair wasn't all the way back yet. She missed the fact he was giving me evidence that he was there. And again, the evidence is he had to shave it, and he did not like it. And she told me, oh no, he did not like his hair bald. He loved his hair. He was all about his hair. So that was the thing. And so again, they will often, when they show themselves, and if we are attuned to it, they will present themselves in ways that make sense to the reader to understand. I mean, not the reader, the person receiving the message. Because that's who this message is for. As Miss Susan just gave her message, the message was for her, not for Susan. Susan was just delivering the message.
And just remember also, you may have a lot of visitations in your dreams. Our loved ones come through and they say, hi, I love you. They may have a message, they may not have a message, but they will come and visit us in our sleeping state, because we're open, we're receptive, and it's easy for them to say, hi, just thinking about you, love you. Just be aware, they're around us everywhere.
And there's two other points I want to make. And the first one is that the person you hope to come in when you sit down for a mediumship reading, the person that you hope will come in, there's no guarantee they're coming in. And so if you're going to have a mediumship reading with someone days in advance, you should be saying, hey, Mom, I'm going to have a mediumship reading this coming weekend. Can you make yourself available on the other side? Hey, Dad, can you make yourself available? Hey, if you have a son or a daughter who's passed over, can you make yourself available? Get that homework done in advance. I call it homework because y'all do your homework, I do my homework. So we send people, I say, do your homework, ask those people to come in, because say, hey, I've got a medium who can bring you in. So we're going to be there. come on down, the price is right. And then when that time comes, me as a medium, I send my team, my spirit guides, and my gatekeeper. I'm like, put them out to work, go out there and find her relatives. Find whoever out there wants to come in. Now, what happens is, and this is the thing that sometimes frustrates people who go for a mediumship reading. Say I'm reading for Tammy, and say Tammy's like, I want my mom to come in. And mom's like, I'm sorry, I'm off the clock. I ain't coming in, I'm busy someplace else. And yet, her best friend from 20 years ago, who they were best friends in college, and then the woman passed, and Tammy lived a long life since and had only a 6-month lifespan with this person. But in that person's life, because we are reading their message, right? In that person's life, Tammy was everything to her. Tammy was everything to her. And Tammy forgot how connected they were because, again, Tammy's had a long life since. But that woman came in because that woman wants to say, hey, do you remember this? And I wanted to let you know you helped me in the roughest time of my life. And I eventually passed, but I want you to know that I was appreciative of this. And so that's the one thing that kind of drives people crazy because, again, the person we hope comes in, it's not guaranteed. You can't get your mom and dad on the phone on this side of the if they don't want to answer the phone, they won't answer the phone. So what makes you think when you reach a long distance, it's going to happen in that way?
And sometimes it's like they line up, and whoever gets there first pushes everybody out of the way because they have a message. Your spirit that comes through will always have a message for you. It's important to them to get it.
And I would say I had the second point, but the train left the station. And most of you who know me, you know that happens too frequently. I should have put a little notation in my number.
And don't forget, next Sunday, not tomorrow, but next Sunday, we're going to be in Peoria at your Cosmic Connections, giving readings to the audience, helping them connect with their loved ones. So we'll be there from 1 to 3 next Sunday.
Oh, and one other thing. That's the other thing I was going to mention. I guess you go to second aging. The one other thing was this, is that when you come in sometimes, this is the great funny part is you may not remember specifics. You may not remember data. But then if you leave, and when you after you leave, maybe about 3-4 days later, like, I know now what that means. I understand. I get it. Don't be surprised when that happens. And then when that happens, reach out to the medium. Let the medium know, I get it now. I know what that means. Angie and I had a reading. Angie and I had an amazing reading online. This Wednesday night. This is my public.
Don't steal my question.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to put that right. No, go ahead.
Sunday,
I was gonna ask, how do you control the emotions that come through? And then how do you deal with someone when you're giving them all these clues and they're just, I don't know. How do you deal with that? And you, look, me and Donna, right there, we can see already what I was gonna say.
Maybe psychic. or Angie maybe psychic. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Almost. So the thing that I was going to was is that when you're reading with them and you give them information and it's not connecting with them, say I'm going to leave that with you. Don't press it because again they may not be there yet. They may not have the memory, or worse yet, sometimes you're picking up the spouse, and so you're picking up the spouse's energy and somebody in their world, but because they're a couple, it bleeds over. I had a reading not so long ago where I'm like, okay, do you have somebody in the family who works with diamonds? Because they're showing me jewelry and then diamonds. And I'm like, specifically diamonds. He said, no. I'm like, I see him work with diamonds, and I see him. And then the voice like, my uncle, my great uncle. And I said, yeah. Where she said, I do. She said, I do. And I said, is he a great uncle? Yes. On your mom's side? Yes. Is his name Joe? Yes. Okay, he's showing me working with diamonds. And he's showing me New York City, Manhattan. 45th Street. He's showing me the diamond district. He's showing me the poles of the diamonds. He's showing me getting on and off the bus. And she's like, yeah, that's exactly where he was. Now we're in Arizona. And yet I picked up that the guy who was here, his Uncle Joe, for her great Uncle Joe. And I said, and he's an older man, but he was at your wedding, right? And she goes, oh, I don't know. But the mother was there, and I was like, oh yeah, he was there. And yeah, because he's showing me he was at your wedding. So again, sometimes when you're reading the one spouse, you can pick up the energies of the other. And then the thing that Angie was talking about specifically for a reading we had a husband in, and he's talking to the wife, And he's talking, and Angie's like, does he have something? I love you
143.
143. And she's like, no, no. And he's like, no, we keep saying this. And he's showing me a rose. And Angie's like, it's a rose. And I was like, it's a name too. And I said, so you have 3 children? She said, no, I have 2. I said, no, you have 3. I see a boy, I see a girl, a boy, a girl. And he's like, no, it's a girl and a boy. And I said, okay, but I'm seeing really spread apart. So we're talking 9 years apart? No, I only have 2. And I said, so, okay. And I'm like, so I said, no, but I'm on this, on the phone, right? And I said, because it's showing me 3. And I said, is one of them Rose? And she goes, no, no. And I'm coming back to Rose, like, Andrew's like a Rose. And he's just like, and the woman calls back in about a week or sent me a text, and I sent to Angie even, and she said, I was wrong. She said, and while we're on the live, by the way, the one thing she did say, she goes, oh no, but I'm raising my daughter's daughter. She lives with me. And again, that daughter was 9 years younger than the son, who also lives with her, and then the older daughter. And so daughter, son, daughter. She comes, when she reaches back, she says, let Angie know, I have a tattoo right here with a rose, and I love you. Angie had told her this, and she forgot she had a tattoo, but the husband's saying it's there, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it was there. And the woman even took it, she said, I don't know what I was thinking. And then she said, my granddaughter's name, middle name, take a guess, Rose. Again, sometimes because we have what's called in mediumship amnesia, they're so focused on what they want or what they're hoping to hear that some of the specific data doesn't register, and just we leave it with them because it's not about us. It's like, this is for you. And then we say, this is your message. If it resonates down the road, then this is your message, take it as it is. And so many times they reach back to us and they say, it hit, I wasn't thinking about it. And so know that when you have a reading, even if it doesn't hit with you right then, take the message, take the data, and let it percolate. And don't be surprised if down the road you want to get any confirmation you needed. You're like, that's the message I needed, because in this moment, that was the most important thing. Is I needed a message, and they found the right person on the other side to deliver that message. And Julie's like kicking me off the stage.
5 minutes. Let's let her wrap it up.
Yes, please.
I think we wrapped it up. So come see us next Sunday in Peoria.
And also,
Thank you for being such a great audience.
yes, we also do private events. We usually go into a home, like we talked about with husband and wife. We do events for you set up 2 hours, you pay us in advance, and you can invite anybody you want, and we'll come into your home or your church or your business or your company or your party, and we will do readings for the purpose of hope. And all we do is we just say, you get 2 hours, you do what you want with that 2 hours, and then we do the readings for you. So if you're interested in private parties or something like that, let us know. We're available too.
Thank you guys.
Julie was managing. She's like,
Perfect. No, you're good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate it.
And who knows? Maybe they'll be the number one here in this location. Because we is box B. So remember, next up is Miss A5 says herself.
There's Angie.
Miss A.
Angie girl.
Hi.
Angie girl. Whose book did I see?
I think it's fun. I gave it to Susan so you guys would have it.
Thanks,
You know I'm gonna have
Hey,
one.
y'all out there. If you have any questions about mediumship, please put them in the comment section. Julie will probably answer this. Julie is just as capable with us. She can answer the questions for us. But put them in the comment sections, and if nothing else, we'll get back to you after the event.
Kevin, do you have a question about the intermingling of energy? How does that feel? Is that different with mediumship and psychic and different?
Absolutely. Again, as I said earlier in the reading, or in the presentation, mediumship readings are at a higher level, a higher vibrational level. And when psychic energy is a lower level, I can pick up so much more psychic energy like this. But my mediumship energy takes a little longer. The good part is I'm very fortunate that I've gotten to the point with my mediumship where I have within a minute I'm thinking of something, somebody. But that took a long time. But definitely the energy level is necessary. When you do a mediumship reading, when you are practicing your mediumship out there, folks, make sure that you listen to Robin Williams or Eddie Murphy. And that's old school, pick the new school, I don't know. But those two guys are so funny. They're so genuinely funny, and they just hit a core space that raises you, and you laugh and you raise your energy. Or listen to disco music, or listen to some kind of music that gets you up and going. You know, maybe whatever will elevate your energy, because by elevating your energy with music and laughter, you elevate yourself to the point where mediumship is easy. Okay? So that's what I would suggest, Kevin. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, we have more people coming on, so appreciate that. Has Auntie had any drinks? We're getting.
No comment.
Are we getting Auntie Dice Clay?
Angie Dice Clay.
He said no. She was going to wait until after her talk, her improv. Until after that, then
How are
she'll
you?
visit some,
Hopefully you didn't mind if it came.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
some vibration. What am I thinking? Something to drink and to eat.
Where should I put this? Did I turn it off or something?
Yeah, please turn it off. Did you turn it off? You did turn it off.
It's okay.
It's on. Okay, so we're gonna leave this open. Anybody wants to come up and talk to the rest of the group, they will do so. And I'm gonna take a quick break too. And then I'll be back.
I'm around, get some water.
This is
I'll come right
Andy.
I'm ready.
Okay, bus. Yes.
Are you recording?
Yes.
You are. Okay, so because we're gonna go and then, but we want to sit down a little later. Is that okay? Okay, and where do we get that? Pre-recording. Can I just Facebook you? Message it? Okay.
Yes.
We want to hear all of it. Okay, I'll pass you then. Thank you. I'm gonna go and see. It's emotional.
fit in. So if you want to go 2 hours, go for it. All for it.
I definitely and I can come on YouTube, job, please.
Oh, beautiful.
They said only if you believe you control it. So I felt like if you were easy enough to sneak it away, you can so this is how I feel. Like when you guys and this is what I say. I say, I believe that God is all but there is no way that there is any power on this earth that can trump the power and the protection that my God gives me. So I'm never going to believe it. And I allow him to put this in your heart. If my God tells me to put that spirit on me, I believe it. Because my God is the power and protection. So why would you allow everybody to have more control over me than you have my and I did, I did, I did. But when you said I feel out of there, they said that's what you believe. Just like you spoke the other stuff away, you can speak. You can control it. How are your guys? Because when they're telling me, they're saying, just like I spoke it away, this is what I understand. That's how the ritual was. When I was trying to come up with religion, it was such a hard fight because the organization. So the more my guys feel something to me, the harder I want to stay in religion. That's all I do. And I was understand that was not true. Right. Once I actually pulled myself out of it, there's somebody telling me something that I spoke to, I said, oh my God, I didn't need to get out of it. I have not something to you. If you tell me they told me immediately when I checked this out. I'm telling your mom, this lady wanted to be because she we're African. And she wanted me, she was my first time. She wanted me, this is actually my turn. And so I was like, and so I had set up to do, I had gone, so she told me, I was going to go to her house and do it. And that day, everything that was going on. This is you trying to fix it.
Okay, let's see what we got. It's that time. It is that time. Miss A5 says,
The only thing I can do is turn the connection where it doesn't go. Um,
We're getting ready.
so we're
So you guys are ready?
every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes. So if you just touch it, okay.
Without further ado, since we've been talking about her all day long, Miss A5 says to the stage.
Hello, everybody. All of you out there. I am very interactive, so I need you all to ask questions. To jump
what's your
in.
name?
I'm Angie. Angie from A5 says, listen, that's Sherry Berry. That's my sister from another mother right there. And so if you hear somebody heckling me, that's just Sherry Berry. She's just being all lovely. Also, y'all, I took my regular today, so if y'all see me do a cartwheel, you will not see me do a cartwheel. But I am high energy right now, and I have some of Sherry Berry's tea out there for immunity. So I am like, my energy is over the top. Plus, I think I'm funny, so you don't want to be up here, telling jokes and stuff. But I am high energy, and once spirit actually starts working in me, I talk very, very fast. So can y'all hear me? Like I feel like I'm talking loud. Y'all can hear me.
Yes.
And then Miss Julie has the other microphone out there. So if you have questions, and Sherry, you can ask questions, and Miss Sherry very will bring it on because I like for you to ask questions. So I'll just start from the beginning because I can go everywhere. I can tell y'all what I can give y'all 45 minutes about what happened to me last night at the bar. But and no, Kevin, I did not have a drink because, like I said, spirit is enough by itself. If I get a little libations in me, we go get Andrew Dice Clay up here, not A5 says. So I have to, stay in my zone and not be too over the top. But I'll start at the beginning, and then the conversation will flow however you want it to go. So I've had visions since I was 5 years old, right? That's the earliest I can remember is 5 years old. I can remember being in my room, playing with my imaginary friends. Those imaginary friends were spirits, but I didn't know that because I was 5 years old. I was also Baptist, so boom, boom, Baptist, we don't see spirits, which was odd to me because I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Spirit. But when the Holy Spirit talks to me, that's the devil because I'm not the one that was in the church who was supposed to be talking to spirits. So me and religion have a rocky road going there. I did religion my whole life, and I just ignored my gifts. Like I would see visions, I would know stuff before it happened. Everybody told me it was deja vu. I remember being in my 20s and going to my pastor and being like, I can see things before they happen. He tapped me on my shoulder. He recited Jeremiah 29:11, and I know it by heart because it hurt my feelings when he did it. He said, "For I know the things that I have for you, they are for good and for not evil, and for you to have a good day." Blah 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 blah. And told me to go on with it. So I ignored my gifts the whole time, but I've been having gifts my whole life. So then I'm going through my life. I'm having these visions. I'm keeping them down because they told me that this is a bad thing. But there's prophets in the church who can do the same thing, but they get to do it because they're bringing the money into the church. Where I am just a lonely person who's just helping people out around. And so my spirits are bad, but their spirits are good. But we're all believing in the Holy Spirit. So if I haven't confused you, that's how I felt. Like, wait a minute, I believe in the Holy Spirit, but I can't talk to the Holy Spirit. I have to come to you to talk to the Holy Spirit. And when I talk to the Holy Spirit, it's bad. But when you tell me what the Holy Spirit said, it's good. And so I'm like, wait a minute, this is me as a little kid. So I got questions upon questions upon questions. And they don't like questions from little kids. So I couldn't say ask anything, right? So I'm growing up. I'm still having these visions. I'm still trying to be religious. I'm reading the Bible. I'm reciting verse. I'm in church, and it just doesn't feel right to me. And my pastor was a hell and damnation pastor. You don't do your homework, you're going to hell. You don't eat your vegetables, you're going to hell. You don't pay your tithes, you're going to hell. So I thought my whole life, or as a child, I thought God was just a big old tiger. All he was going to do was punish me for everything. So I was afraid of God. I believed in Jesus because of fear, right? So as I got older, I would be like, okay, well, if I only believe that Jesus rose because I don't want to go to hell, do I truly believe? And does God care that I don't believe? So am I really saved? So when you start asking those questions, church people start saying, well, God's thoughts are higher than our own, and you don't know. And so you just sweep that under the rug. So everything that was in me was the higher spirit telling me that I have this gift. They're telling me it's wrong because I'm not using it for the church to bring in the tithes, right? Oh, yeah. Work with me, right? So I keep going along. I get into my 20s. Things are happening. I'm seeing stuff. I'm working at this law office. I graduated. And before I'm working at this law office. And all of a sudden I get a vision. Because at some point I couldn't tell the difference between a vision, daydreaming, and dreaming, right? So I get this vision and I see me working at another office. There's a guy standing behind me. And the way Spirit used to show things to me, because I was so rebellious, they would show me an 8x10 picture, right? And it would just be a picture, right? And so I would see the picture and I was like, oh, I don't know what that means. So they showed me a guy standing behind me and I'm sitting at a desk and I'm like, I already had a job. Why did that happen? So the attorney I was working for, the office ended up getting shut down. I ended up working at this office with this guy. And so as this scene unfolded in my real life, the 8x10 photo came back and they showed it to me. So he's explained it to me. I'm also having a vision of what I saw, and I'm going, oh my God, this is it. And it burst open into my reality. So what they were preparing me for was the job that I was about to lose, but the job that I was going to get. So my guides have always guided me and let me know, but a lot of times we don't listen to those nudgings because we've been told that those are wrong, or we think they're coincidence, or we think they don't mean anything. But my God not only showed me that I was going to get fired, but that I already had provisions waiting for me before I even knew that I was going to get fired. So had I saw that and accepted it, I would have known that I was going to be okay. So when I got fired, I got panicked, and religion wasn't helping me when there wasn't no money coming in, and I had to file bankruptcy. So religion wasn't helping me, but my guides had already told me, and I should have listened to that. And so that's just how my life went. It was always a battle between me and my guides going back and forth. Do I believe? Do I listen to church? Do I believe? Do I listen to church? And so I would go back and forth. And I remember in my 30s, I was going through such a horrible time. My finances was terrible. Had no love life. And I gave my guys 4 pillars of my life: my health, my finances, my love life, and my career. All 4 of those can't be messed up. If all 4 of those are messed up, hello, Lord, we got a problem. Mission control, come down here and talk to me. Something has to be right. I can be rich and lonely, right? I'll take that because they say money can't buy you happiness. Don't believe it because I buy happiness all the time, y'all. Listen. So so I tell them all the time, all 4 of my pillars cannot be messed up. Something has to be good, right? And so if all of them start to fall down, then I shut down. I don't listen no more. I am the most defiant person you'll ever know. Like people tell me all the time, you argue with your guys like that all the time. If you see me look off to the side, that's me and my spirits having a conversation. Like, I don't like the way you told me that. My guys are like I've gotten so in tune with them that we argue back and forth, and that's okay. And religion told me that you had to be so humble. Oh Father God, most honorable High God. When I'm mad, listen, Lord, we have a problem. We need to talk. The other day I said, listen, Jesus, we need to have to come to Jesus meeting about these hot flashes because I'm at that age, right? And the inferno when I started, I said, listen, Lord, I can't be up here talking and then you give me a hot flash. And then I done lost my train of thought. So listen, Jesus. And people be like, how you ever come to Jesus meeting with Jesus just like that? I had to come to Jesus meeting with Jesus and say, hey, I don't like what's going on. So can we fix this? So what happened today? I came to Miss Sherry Berry. She got some tea for menopause to help with them hot flashes. That's another story, y'all. I know I don't look for that. Anyway, so I keep going on through my life. I get in my 30s. I'm having a horrible time. My finances are bad. My love life is bad. My housing situation is bad. I don't have a job. I've listened to the Lord. They told me I'm going to do this is going to be helping. I'm going to church and I'm in church one day. This is in my 30s, so I'm still ignoring it. I'm still getting visions. I mean, spot on visions. They're telling me stuff before it happens, and I'm still, nope, that I can't do that. That's bad. Baptist says it's bad. I got to do it this way. I got to go this way. I got to listen to what they're saying. I got to go to church. I got to go to church. So I'm in church, and he says, the Lord told me to tell you. Two things happened to me. I'm in church, and I'm broken. I'm crying every week. I'm sad, and all I wanted was a hug, right? And so he said, the Lord told me to tell you, and he went into some long speech about tithes and offerings, and y'all not doing this and that. And I said, Lord, I said, you done told him all this stuff about all these people, but you couldn't tell him I wanted a hug. That's all I wanted was a hug. Some days I went to church and I was so broken, I was so alone, I was so down. All I wanted was a hug. And the Lord told you all this stuff about the tithes, but he didn't tell you that you could give me a hug for free, and that would have made my day. So that was one issue I had when they said the Lord told me to tell you. The other thing was I sat there and I prayed at that moment. I said, Lord, I want to be able to hear from you the way that he says that he can hear from you, because I don't know that he can hear from you. He may just be telling me he can. So I said, I want to be able to hear from you the way he hears from you. And I swear from that day it was different. I was able to understand my connection this way and not this way. This way is through the church, through other people interpreting. This way is my one-on-one. Everything in the Bible made sense. It wasn't that it was hidden, it was that it was misinterpreted. So if you go back, things that my grandmother said my whole life started to make sense to me. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Wait a minute, that's another way of saying manifestation. That's another way of me just speaking it into existence, right? So now I'm having this horrible time. I find my sister has a friend who's going to the crystal class. And so we start going to the crystal class. This is how I connect, and I find out about my journey. And I go to the crystal class and I understand that the things that I'm learning aren't bad. So now I'm tuned in. The one thing that Miss Tina told us in her class is that you can control the spirits and you can question the spirits. Why did she tell me that? Because this is me all day. Well, why y'all want me to do that? Y'all ever heard somebody be like, well, somebody told me to go get a gallon of milk and just take it to the shelter, and I did it. Not me. Why do you want me to get the milk? Why are we going to the shelter? Why doesn't the shelter have milk? Why do they need the milk? I'm questioning everything because religion was so repressive for me that I did everything blindly. The Bible says you're supposed to do this. The Bible says you're supposed to do this. I did everything blindly because that's what religion said to do. Spiritually, I've been more free without religion than I've been when I was in church. In church, I was so bound up. Everything was a rule. You got to go at this time. You got to do it this way. You got to say it that way. You got to pray it this way. Anytime I prayed and it didn't work, you didn't believe enough. You didn't understand enough. You didn't pray enough. It was always something that I did that wasn't right. Spiritually, they say, hey, let's look at it a different way. Let's understand it a different way. So I'm more free spiritually than I've ever been when I was in religion. Spirituality. And I no longer fear God. I no longer fear death. That was one thing that church had me in a chokehold. I was always afraid that, I was going to go to hell. I'm going to go to hell because I'm going to preach. So once I got into spirituality and I learned to communicate directly with God, it was like when you die, you just go back over to your regular consciousness, and then you'll come back again if that's what you choose to do. And so it took this thing out of God. There's nothing you can say to me right now that is going to scare me. If you're going to shoot me, go ahead and shoot me. Like, whatever, let's do it. You're going to rob me, go ahead and rob me. You're going to do whatever, go ahead and do it. Because I have no fear of death now. I just be like, okay, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I do still fear a little bit getting in a car with Miss Sherry Berry because she drives like Mario Andretti, and I feel like we might get into an accident. So there's a little fear there. Like I always tell my God, if you gonna take me quietly in my sleep. don't take me in the car with Sherry again, right? So take me quietly in my sleep. Those are the things I say. But again, with spirituality, over time, I just learned to communicate with my guides in a way where they tell me things, where I manifest things, where I'm open to things that I was never open to in the Bible, but it was always there in the Bible. I just didn't understand what it meant and how they tell me to do it. When they tell you to meditate on the word, that's me just speaking to my guides in whatever way. Everybody makes you think that meditation is sitting there going, it's not. My meditation is me walking. How did I learn that? Through Tina at Everything's Just Rocked in our Monday night class. She said your meditation isn't like everybody else's. When you're walking down the street, the first time I heard somebody say my name, there was nobody there, I thought I was losing my mind. I thought they were coming to get me. So I'm walking down the street, this is me. I done leaned into my gift. I'm walking down the street, and I'm just blah, 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 looking at the sun and the flowers, and then I hear, Angie. Looking around, ain't nobody around there. Angie. Looking around, ain't nobody there. So I look, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's the Lord calling my name. I can hear you outside of my head calling my name. Hold on now, I can learn something new. And so the more I got my understanding of my gifts, the more I loved it. Like it went from just being able to see an 8x10 vision to being able to talk with them and tell them, okay, well, I want to know this, and they tell me the exact answer I want. Or I want to know that, and they tell me the exact, why. Like one of the things that Don taught us, and I love it to this day because I'm lazy. If you're lazy, this will work for you so fast. Don said, when you want to know something, send your spirit guides out. Don't go do the research. Send your spirit guides out. So I said, oh, okay. I ain't got to do it. So I said, I want to learn how to invest, right? I don't know nothing about investing, and I done tried to look it up. I'm confused. It's too lefty, right? Just, I don't know what to do. So I said, can you go out and teach me how to invest, right? About a week later, my coworker comes up to me because I have multiple jobs because I am half Jamaican. Not really, but I do work a lot. And so I am working at my second job, and I say, she comes up to me like, did you know you can just buy stock in our company through a payroll deduction? Wait, what? So this is her teaching me how to invest. I asked I did the research on my own. Tried to learn how to do it. I don't know nothing about nothing. Everything. I'm like, you know what? I just give up every single time. I do what Don says. I send them out. They send her to me, and she tells me you could just do a payroll reduction. 1 year later, I have thousands of dollars in that company because I've just been doing a $50 payroll deduction every month, and they just buy shares of stock. So now I'm an owner in Amazon, and I have stocks that I've been buying. I didn't have to do anything. I sent my guys out. They brought the information to me. Right after that, Don and his son are deciding let's do some stock stuff online. So Don's telling us about stocks. Don's writing books about stocks. Here's another way. I asked my guys to go out, and they brought it to me. So one thing that spirituality has taught me is how to manifest, how they did it in the Bible. They would be like, oh, I want this, or I need this, and then boom, and what happened? They would pray, oh Lord, I need this. Same thing that we're doing. We're just calling it in a different way. I use every kind of manifestation technique there is. I use the 369 method. I use just telling the Lord I want. I write it down. I go through my dreams, whatever it is I do. The other day, a couple years ago, my son was learning how to drive. Exactly. And so I wanted to be with him every time he did something very important in his life to make sure that he learned how to do it on the road. So we go to the car wash, Sam's Club, right? We're gonna go to the car wash, and he's gonna pull into the car wash. Well, I said line it up. Well, he didn't line it up right, and we took out that whole thing that you turn, the little thing where you pay to go in there. We took that whole thing out, tore it all out, tore up the whole side of my car.
I did not.
Oh my God, tore it right on up. The next time I go to, after I tear it up and shut the whole thing down, the next time I go, they don't put a little track right here so your car goes right into it so you don't tear it up. So I guess I taught them a lesson too, because we shut the whole place down for the rest of the day. There was no more credit card, nothing. The guy was like, oh, well, I'm going home. Shut it down, and you close it down, and we left. Again, Sam's Club didn't charge me anything. They was just like, go on with yourself, you're all right. So long story short, I decided I don't want to go do insurance because my baby's just learning to drive, and I don't want him to have that on his record. So y'all didn't hear none of that, right? So then I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna go and pay for it myself. So I'm on my way to the car place, and I go to the first person. I'm asking them. I have no idea what this is gonna cost. When I say the whole side is messed up, the mirrors came off. The hood has a scratch in it. The door has a scratch in it. He gave us a nice little shh on the side of that. I have pictures if y'all want to see it. I made him a senior book and I put that picture in there like this is what he did to my car on his senior year. So everything is in there. But anyway, so I go to the car place and I'm like, okay, well, they're telling me she's looking at it, she's taking pictures. She said, well, I'm gonna have to send it out and let them give you an estimate. I'm like, oh my God, this one cost me $10,000 cash and I don't have it. I was like, Lord help the child. So when I get in the car, I said, you know what? I don't want this to cost more than $3,100. More than $3,100. 3,100. I don't know where I got that number from. It just came on the top of my head, right? So I'm driving on my way to the second place because I have 3 places lined up. I'm going. I came here. She don't know what it's gonna be. So I'm on my way to this place. On my way there, I'm doing the 369 method because I learned this from Don and Shauna being on their live show on Thursday morning, and she mentioned 369. So I'm like, oh, and when they tell you have to believe, you don't, because I don't believe all the time. I believe enough to do what it says. I believe enough to pray the prayer. After that, who knows? I might say, you know what, I am a millionaire. Then 5 minutes later, when that water bill comes, I'm not a millionaire because I don't have the money. So I don't believe 100%. I believe enough to do whatever it is you told me to do. So I believed enough to do the 369 method. I have 2 369 method stories, but I'm gonna tell you this one because this is my favorite. So I get ready to go to the car place. I'm driving to the car place, and I say I don't want it to be more than $3,100. So I start doing 369 method the way I learned it. 3 times what you want. I don't want the total automobile repair to be more than $3,100. You say that 3 times. I'm driving. It's less than 2 miles away, so I got to do this fast. I'm driving to the second place, and I say it 3 times. I want my car payment to be less than $3,100 for the total repair. Say that 3 times. 6 times you say how it'll make you feel. I am so happy that my auto repair bill is less than $3,100. You say that 6 times. Now, mind you, I'm driving, I'm on my way there, and I'm counting at the same time. All these things you should not do when you're driving. So I gotta keep up. I said this 3 times. I said this 6 times, and then 9 times. You give gratitude for what it is that you wanted. So now I'm so grateful that my car payment isn't going to be more than $3,100, right? So I get to the second place. It's 12 o'clock. They're closed. I'm pulling on the door. He's like, I'm like, okay, they're closed. I'll just come back tomorrow. He comes to the door. He says, can I help you? I said, oh, I wanted to get an estimate on my car, but I'll leave. I see you. He said, come on in. I'll help you. Give me 1 second to finish this guy. So he finished that guy. He go outside. He look at my car. He come back in. He gets on that security. I'm gonna give you a good deal. He totaled up everything. You know how much it was? $3,089. Because I said I didn't want it to be more than $3,100, and it wasn't. I know nothing about repairing a car. The total bill, I had to get a new windshield. I had to get a new mirror on the side. I had to get a new door. I had to get a new hood. I had to get all this stuff done. He found all the parts secondhand or used but in great condition. He repainted my car. Let me tell you something. Half the labor was him. The parts only cost about $900. The other $2,000 was him painting and putting it on and doing everything. But I said what I wanted it to be. I used the manifestation technique that my guides told me at the time. That's one thing, you have to listen to your guide. They told me at that time to use 369, so that's what I did. And on my way there, in less than 5 minutes, I was so excited I called Julie immediately, or text Julie immediately. Miss Julie, I get it. And this is Bonnie. She sent me a meme the other day that says, this is a person who who prays whatever spirit tells them, doesn't believe when it happens. And then when it happens, you're like, oh my God, it worked. That's me. Oh my God, it worked. I did exactly what they told me to do, the way they told me to do it, and it happened exactly the way that I wanted to do. I paid him. He said $3,100. I couldn't get my credit card off fast enough. I said, hold on, let me pay for it now. Can I pay for it now? He said, oh no, wait, I need to order the parts. Oh, I don't want to put a down payment on you because I said $3,100. You told me $3,089. That's $3,100. We gonna stay there. My guys done already said that this is what it's gonna be, and that's what it was. Again, I know nothing about cars. I know nothing about. And you know what? The first person I went through, you know what they told me? They came back with 3,102. So they were also with it. Everybody knew it, and I have no idea where that came from because everybody made it seem like that was a $10,000 repair that I was gonna have to have. And so when she told me that she didn't know what it was, I was just like, oh my God, she about to come up with a whole bunch of stuff. Her estimate and his estimate was the same. I didn't go to the third person. It don't even matter because he gave me exactly what I said I wanted, and I got it. The other one is a little bit shorter than that, and I'm going to tell it to you because it was about my son. You know, if you ever hear somebody say my favorite Brandon, that's my Brandon. He's my favorite Brandon. And I'm telling you where I got that from too. I had a cousin, and he was a little bit older than me and my sister, and it was just us at the time. And he would always be like, "Hey, favorite cousin," and he would say it to her, and he would say it to me, right? And so we'd be like, when we were together, like, "Who your favorite?" Because you always said your favorite. And then he would walk away. So I started calling everybody my favorite. So you're my favorite Sherry, you're my favorite Julie, you're my favorite Don. And so that way everybody thinks they're your favorite and you don't have to worry about who is the favorite. You just tell everybody your favorite. So anyway, I tell Brandon he's my favorite Brandon. So my son is in high school and he's taking college classes at Rio Salado, but it's not free. I have to pay for it, right? So the bill comes in the mail and he's taking his full course because he graduated with 2 associate's degrees from high school. So I'm paying full, all gen ed classes, I'm paying for them. And so I'm a single mom, I'm working 2 jobs, he's in soccer, he's in school, everything is costing me, right? I got rent, I got mortgage, I got rent, I got car note, I got insurance, I got everything. And a growing boy eats a lot, right? So he has all these expenses, right? And so college tuition comes up, I need like 500 or 300, I can't remember what the exact amount was, but I needed this money for school, right? 500. Don got, why Don knows? Because Don was the person who was with me, and I called him immediately. Don, guess what happened? So I'm needing this money, and Shauna has told us how to do 369. She said 3 times what you want, 3 times how to make you feel, and 3 times what you want, 6 times how to make you feel, and 9 times gratitude. Yes, it wouldn't hurt. So I said, I need the money to pay for my son's school. I need to get up my mind. I told him what I needed. I left. I went for a walk. I'm crying because, oh my God, they done sent me an email that they're about to kick him out of classes because I haven't paid my next payment. This is the next payment that's due for him, or they're going to kick him out of this class. So 1, there's mom embarrassment. You can't pay for your kids, so now he's getting kicked out of his honors classes and he can't go anymore. 2, where am I going to get the money from? I don't have any more money. I don't have this $500 that I need, right? So I'm going immediately. I prayed the prayer. I did everything she told me to do. I wrote it down the first time because I didn't know how to do it. So I wrote it down. I'm off on my walk crying because even though I did it, I don't believe it's going to happen. That's fine. That's $500 that my son needs immediately. They like, hey, you got to Friday to pay this money or we're kicking him out of classes. So I'm panicking, right? So I get into the, I get a call from them. The school is calling. So this is me. Oh my God, they want to know, Miss Lewis, when you're going to give us the money. You owe us $500. So I don't answer the phone, right? The next day I go and listen to the message. They said there's a check at the school because of the Biden era, whatever we were going through during the pandemic, there was a Biden refund check that came. You know how much it was? The amount of money I needed for my son. I did the 369 method. I didn't believe it. You heard me say immediately. I went out crying because I didn't believe I was going to have the money and he was going to get kicked out of classes. They called. I finally listened to the message and I'm scared. Like, oh my God. They're like, we have a check here for Brandon. It's a refund. It went to the wrong house. We need you to tell us what your address is. I called him and was like, we'll be on our way up here to get it tomorrow. Can you pick it up in person? We picked it up in person. I put it in my account and I paid his bill immediately. And that's the 369 method working for me twice. Immediately. Not even believing 100% that it would happen. The second time I believed a little more because of the first time it actually worked. So every time I want to manifest something, I do whatever spirit tells me, however they tell me to do it. And the more you communicate with your guides, and it's not like I learned it, it's like I went back to that 5-year-old Angie. Because 5-year-old Angie is like, well, me and Jesus out here playing with these dials and these bricks and these blocks. Because I'm just talking to Jesus all the time and not knowing it. When they show me my spirits that I talked to as a child, one of them is the one that Jesus was, the Jesus that everybody sees with the long hair. That's the one that's sitting on the bed. That's the one I'm talking to. And it's just me and him having a good time. One thing I did skip is when I was really, really into church. I'm the only person. I'm sorry, what's the temperature?
We have a question.
What's the question?
We have a question from online from
Okay.
Katie from Missouri.
Okay.
As you know, her question is, what is your perception of hell?
I don't believe in hell at all anymore. At all. There's no hell because from what I've seen on the other side, it's loving, it's different. And when you die, you just go back to your spirit form. Like it's like you just take this off. Like if you had on a wetsuit, you just take this body off, your whole body becomes free. You go back to spirit. That's how I see it. The fact that I can now talk to spirits, like a spirit will just be like right there next to her. And that was one of the questions I had when Don was up there is, how do you see spirits? Because everybody sees it different. Sometimes it's just a person standing next to her. Sometimes it's a vision. Sometimes it's a taste, a smell, a touch, a feel. So everybody receives their spirits different, so you never know what you're going to receive. So like I was talking to a lady over there, and I won't bring her up, but we were talking to her uncle, and I was like, no, actually, I'm gonna tell you somebody we were doing a live. Me and Don were doing a live the other day, and let me tell you this: I don't even like mediumship, and the reason I don't like mediumship because it's too many feelings. Right? It's all emotional, and oh, Uncle John came through, and he wants to tell you how great you are, blah blah blah. Now everybody's crying. No, give me psychic straight up to the point, because I like to tell you what is going to happen. You might get a job offer. You're probably going to meet somebody. You should, like, I want to tell you factually what's going on in your life right now and how to get out of those situations. So those are my intentions. That's another thing. There's so many different ways I can go, y'all. But you got to set your intention for how you want it to do. So I set my intention with my gifts that I'm always trying to help people to better their lives or to use their gifts. So when I see other people doing other stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, they're doing more online videos, like Don and Susan are doing videos, and Bonnie are doing videos. Should I be doing more videos? They be like, well, if you want to do it the way that they're doing it, yes. But if you want to do it the way you set up your intentions, no. And I don't like doing large energies. Like, I'm not a person that's gonna do like, oh well, this is what's gonna happen for Arizona, or this is what's gonna happen in the world. I need to point blank period talk to Julie. My spirit guides like to talk to you personally because I'm giving you information personally. I don't like to be like, oh well, you know, we're all in here experiencing this or that, because that's generic to me. So that's how my guides talk to me. But some people love to do zodiac readings, or they like to do group readings because for them that's a little bit more free. I prefer one-on-one so I can tell you how bad or how good you are, and plus I like to tell people what to do as you can see. I just like to tell people what to do. So again, I set my intention on how I want my readings to go, how I want to use my gift, and that's how I use them. Before me and Don go live, because me and Don go live every Wednesday night, 6 to 10, well, not 6 to 10, Lord have mercy, 6 to 2. It is issue. Like we might be at 6, we might be at 6. I'm sorry, 6. Oh my God, Lord. Listen. If we get into a marathon, it might go to 2, but really 6 to 8. I'm sorry, 2 hours. We're already supposed to be on 2 hours, but we might not get there at 6:30. We might not get there to 7, because a lot of times we're behind the scenes talking before we get there, and we're like, well, we could have just said all this online, but we're just catching up and we're talking about spirits and things like this that are happening. So we get online and we're talking and we're telling people about what's going on. And one of the ladies we were talking to, she wanted a love reading. You know how much I love a love reading, y'all. I love a love reading, but as much as you love soft being born in your womb, I cannot stand a love reading. And exactly. Listen, me and Donna, Grim Reaper of Love, that's where love goes to die. We do not love a love reading. And the reason is because early on we did every reading. When we went live, we did every reading. We did love, we did financial, we did everything. But a lot of people will come, when am I ever gonna get married? And the way you ask the question already pulls on my energy. When am I ever going to get married? That already shows that you have a defeated attitude, right? Does such and such love me? And I'm like, well, I don't even see you as such. I'm like, do you know such and such? Oh no, he's my barista at Starbucks, and he serves me coffee every morning, and I think he loves me. You've never even talked to him. He just calls your name and says, Angie, your tea is ready. So now you think he loves you because he's being nice to you. So we got a lot of readings like that, and in order to sort those out, we would just say, this is what I came up. I used to be like, listen, I don't have permission to tap into their energy, so I'm not going to read it. And that's the line that we all kind of told, is like, I can't get into your other person's reading, because technically, if I'm giving you a reading, I'm reading your diary, I'm reading your mind, I'm going into your energy, and I know your personal thoughts. Like, I can see them, but I choose not to. Even in my personal relationships, I do not get into those kind of things. If I'm in a romantic relationship with somebody, I don't read them. That's just a boundary that I set, because I want it to be an organic situation where we are communicating one-on-one, and not that I'm reading you. Now, if my guys tell me, look, Angie, go to room 715 because he in there, I'm going to go. Like, if my guys tell me to go warn me about something, I'm going to listen, but I'm not intentionally going to go into it to be like, well, how does he really feel about me? Does he really like me? That's unfair, because I think I have an advantage over the relationship that he doesn't, and I will not do that. And so I don't like going into other people's energy. If I have a message for you, I'll come to you and say, hey, Sherry, I have a message for you. Can I give it to you? If he say yes, I'll give it to you. If not, then no, I won't give it to you. Even if I come out here and I be like, hey, I got a message for you, and you don't want me to do it, just let me know not to do it, and I won't do it. I'll stop. I always abide by permissions of the spirit world. I'm never going to go into somebody's energy I don't have permission to go into, and I'm never going to go into spaces where I don't think I belong. I'm a person that's all love and light. And so sometimes people are also afraid of spirits. They don't want to talk to spirits because, oh, it might be a bad spirit. Oh, it might be this. Well, the one thing that Tina taught us, and you'll hear me say Tina over and over again, because she was the best introduction into this that I've ever seen in my life. She told us there was no fear. She told us that we had control over everything. And so she always said there's no competition. So me and Don don't compete for readings because we know that who's attracted to Don may not be attracted to me, but may be attracted to Sherry. And so we boost each other up. Like, right? So I'll say, well, you know what? Don might be able to help you because he's done business before. He can give you a financial reading that is out of the world. The first time Sherry Mary met me, you know what she did? She said, Spirit told me to tell you to give you a hug. And she gave me a hug. Remember back in the day I said I was in church and all I wanted was a hug. It was still going on in the middle of my journey. And the first thing she did was give me a hug. And that's how we became friends. It's because Spirit told her to give me a hug. She didn't understand why. She just said they told me to give it. And I was just like, oh my God, they hear me. They actually hear me. Even though I'm still participating, I still have those moments where I'm like, oh my God, it really works. Like, oh my gosh, they really hear me. And so I still am able to be awed and amazed at things that go on around me. Is there any more questions? You know, I'll go on and on and on and on.
No, you're
That's
good.
only the
You're
first
good.
part of my life. That ain't even this part of my life. That's just the beginning part of my life. And so there's so many different things, like in the spirit world, that you have to address. Your intention. Is it a good spirit? Is it a bad spirit? Did that say that first?
Quick, yes, ma'am. You say connect with your spirit guides. How did you connect? I didn't get it as a small child.
When I got older,
Yeah, as you got older.
so they were like they never left me. I just ignored them.
Right.
They were always sending me visions. They were always doing all kinds of stuff to give me messages, but I was just shutting them down because that's bad. You're not supposed to do that. You don't get tattoos because that's bad. You don't get piercings. I said, wait a minute, I got piercings and I wear dresses that are too short for the Lord. So listen, I'm already going to hell. I might as well go on over to this side too. It's like whatever. But once I understood and actually started communicating with them, I understood that hell was a concept to control us, to keep you under the control and to keep you from experiencing spirituality to its fullest. Because if I can talk directly with my guys, why do I need you in church to interpret the Bible for me? This is how I understand it to be. This is why I don't understand church, and a lot of times I get into tips with people about church. So you're reading a book that was written by somebody else, but you say that your God is alive, right? God is alive, right? But you're reading a book by people who wrote it about him. That's like me having my mom right here, and I want to know how to make some kind of dish she makes. I'm going to go and read a book about her instead of going directly to my mom who's still alive and ask her a question. So if your God is alive and a living God, as we say it is, that's what religion tells us, right? Why am I going to somebody else to interpret his word or a book that was written so many years ago by people who kind of sort of might have been there, who kind of sort of might have put all the words in there? Listen, I can't remember the conversation that me and Don had last week. You think I'm gonna remember something that he said 100 years ago and write it down accurately? I may give it some religious embellishments, right? I may tell you a little bit different than it actually happened, and it may suit my needs when I tell you the story so that I look better or so that it's a little bit more controlling. So that's my thing. Why would I need to go to you and to read this book that's years ago when I go directly to the power and ask him, hey, should I take this job? No, Angie, you shouldn't take this job. Should I buy that car? No, Angie, you shouldn't buy that car. I even got a story about a car. I went to the car lot with my son's dad at the time because he was getting a new car. All three of us walked out with brand new cars. Me, my sister, and him. We all walked out with brand new cars. They kept showing me a red car. And I kept saying, do you have a red one? He said, no, we don't have a red one. This him. Well, because he wants me to buy this car. Well, people with red cars always get a ticket and this and that, so I buy the black car, right? I got the car. A couple years later, I get into an accident. Total the car out. Minor accident, but total the car out. I go back to him the next time. He had the exact red car that Spirit showed me that I was supposed to get the first time. So I got the car that I was supposed to get because that's what Spirit had intended for me. So you gotta listen to what they're telling to you. I ask them immediately, should I, should not, yes or no. Sometimes I misinterpret the guidance and don't hear it right, or I don't do it, or I don't believe it enough, or I'm still questioning. Or usually they're gonna give me my answer, yes or no, maybe or not. They're gonna tell me clearly. I just have to understand what they're saying. The other day I was doing a reading for a lady, and she was, I want to hear from my mom. I want to hear from my mom. And I'm giving her this reading. I'm telling her all this stuff. And I said, were you in the kitchen the other day and did a glass fall off the counter and break? She was like, oh my gosh, yes, a glass. I said, that was your mom. She's been trying to get in touch with you over and over again. She didn't like this glass on the floor, and you didn't even notice it was her. She showed me all the different ways and all the different things in her life that she had been trying to get in contact with her. The dad, one of the other people I was reading, the dad's in the car with her all the time. She doesn't understand why this song always comes on the radio. You gotta listen to the little things. We discredit everything and think it's just a coincidence. Oh, this song just came on, about my dad and I'm having a bad day. Well, this is how my dad cheers me up. He sends me this song. And now, you know what I say now? I just say thank you. Thank you. I never understood gratitude either. Let me tell you about my gratitude. My gratitude used to be so angry. They used to be like, well, you got to be grateful because that's what religion tells you. You got to be grateful. If you don't show gratefulness to God, then He's not going to bless you. I used to be like, I am grateful. Didn't I tell you I was grateful? I am so grateful. If I was this is how I'm saying it to them. If I was any more grateful, I'd have a statue of Jesus in my front yard. I give God his honor. I love God. I know. I'm grateful. This is me talking to God, right? So angry and grateful. As I got older and understood how to communicate with God, I understood gratitude a different way. And so I wake up and I'm grateful that I get to work from home and I don't have to go into the office, because that's something that adds like 2 hours to my day. I gotta get up early, I gotta get dressed, I gotta find something, I gotta battle through traffic. I'm grateful for little things, and my gratitude isn't angry anymore. One of the things that Don, this is an example that Don gives all the time about opportunities and obstacles. If you get a flat tire, right, and you're on the side of the road, you're waiting on the people to come, and you're like, dang it, I gotta wait for the tow truck to come, I gotta do this. So that's an obstacle, right? I gotta wait, I gotta pay, I gotta do all this stuff. The opportunity, the way that Don presents it is, you were able to control your vehicle, you were able to get to the side of the road safely, you didn't crash, you weren't injured, your car isn't tore up, they're gonna come, they're gonna replace your tire, you're gonna be back on the road, and you're gonna get where you need to go. That's an opportunity for you to give gratefulness that you actually survived something that could have been a lot more worse than it was. In the past, I always saw that as at least. I used to be like, I'm tired of serving a God of at least. At least you still alive, your house burned out, at least you still got your health, but I don't have no place to live, people. And so my gratitude was so grumpy and angry because I didn't understand gratitude the way that I understand it now. So I give gratitude every single time that I can. And what I've understood and what they didn't tell me is that the more you have gratitude, the more opportunities you have to be grateful. So I was so grumpy, I was getting more opportunities to show my angry gratitude. Yes, Don.
Ms. Angie, explain to folks how you handle those people who want to negotiate hospitality.
Oh my goodness. Listen. We have people who want to negotiate, and what Don said was, how do you handle people who want to negotiate when you're giving them a reading? So you give them a reading, and it's like, does Billy love me? Well, I kind of see Billy has a wife, and he's married, and he's living his own life. So no, he's not gonna leave his wife to be with you. Well, do you think if I buy a new pretty dress, he'll like me more? Do you think if I they want to negotiate my reading? I'm gonna tell it to you flat out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. If they say no, then I'm gonna tell you no. One thing, because I used to be so fearful of getting readings that I would be like, well, what if I tell them to do something and it turns out bad? And they would be like, listen, as long as you do it exactly the way that we said, you have no consequence. If I tell you to quit your job, open a Pizza Hut, and start a new and quit your job, open a Pizza Hut, and start your new business, that's how I have to say it. Spirit is telling me to tell you to quit your job and open a Pizza Hut. If I say, well, Spirit is saying you might want to update your resume and get it out there and maybe look for another building. That's not what Spirit said. Spirit said, quit your job and open a Pizza Hut. I have to say it exactly the way they said it, exactly the way they told me to tell it, whether you like it or not. And I tell people all the time, don't get mad at me. I'm telling you the way that I see it. I'm not putting any interpretation with it. I don't even know you like that. I had a lady cuss me out and call me everything but the child of God online because I told her that her boyfriend thought she was a little bit, she was a little bit over the top. Like, so, and this is the way they showed it to me. This is exactly how they showed it to me. So she wanted some Starbucks. He went to go get her some Starbucks, and then he brought it to her. This isn't hot enough. This isn't cold enough. This isn't what I taste. This isn't what I want. She was very, very difficult to deal with. So I said, she cussed me out. You don't know me. You just think that I'm jealous of me because I got all this money. She cussed me completely out online. I promise you. If you go on my YouTube or on Don's YouTube, you will see it. We made a clip of it. She cussed me out so bad online. I'm like, I don't even know you like that, but I understand why he did it. This person sent his new girlfriend to her house. That's how bad he wanted to get rid of her. And she just didn't want to hear it. So she wanted it to be another way. And so a lot of times we'll tell you what you want. We'll tell you the truth, but you want to non-negotiate it. Well, should I buy this car from this guy? He's selling it to me for $5,000. And I'm like, well, no, Spirit is saying the car is only worth about $2,000. You shouldn't get that car. You should, look for something else. He goes, well, you think if I ask him to drop it a little bit, he'll drop it? You think if I get new tires, it'll be okay? Spirit said, don't buy the car. Look for something else. I'm just going to repeat it to you. Don't do it, right? And so when you try to negotiate with me in Spirit, no, I'm just going to tell you, I don't see it that way. That's not what God said. That's not how. And a lot of times you'll hear me interchangeably say Spirit, universe, God, because everybody believes different. So when I tap into your energy, I tap into your higher power. Whether your higher power is Allah, whether your higher power is Buddha, whether your higher power is Jesus, God, whoever, I tap into your higher power about you. I don't ask who their higher power is. I tap into the higher power as I know it to be. So if Julie wants to know, should she move to San Diego? I'll say, Spirit, should Julie move to San Diego? And I like to know your name so that I can address you when I ask Spirit. And so I'll go to your guys and say, should Spirit be there? Spirit will say, no, she should wait 6 months, or she should wait for, for this money to come in. I'll tell it to you exactly the way they told it to me. Sometimes they'll tell me it's not my business to know, and that you need to come to them personally. So sometimes they'll be like, tell her to come to us personally, and we'll give the message to her. And I'll say, well, they're saying they're going to come to you in your dream, and they're going to tell you your dream. So understand the way they're telling it to you in your dream. So I'll tell you exactly what Spirit is. I'm never going to sugarcoat. Well, I'll be sugarcoating a little bit. Like the other day, we were doing, this lady said, back to the love reading. And I'm all over the place, y'all. She said, can I get a love reading? Don picked her out of the chat. I'm going to have to blame this one on Don. Because when we do it, we just go to whatever energy we're drawn to. And John was like, oh, let's do this, girl. And so I was like, well, what's your question? She said, can I have a love reading? I said, God damn, not a love reading. So this may, I didn't want to do the love reading. I was just about to say, we don't do love readings, but they showed me her boyfriend yelling and screaming at her. They showed me him calling her stupid. So at that moment, I said, oh, this is an abusive relationship. I do have to tell her about this. So we give her the reading. Don gives her the reading. Before the reading is done, she said, you know what, y'all, I'm going to put in my 60-day notice, and I'm going to leave this relationship, because that was the confirmation that I needed. I listened to Spirit, even though I don't like love readings. In that case, they told me to give her a love reading, so I gave her the love reading. And she decided that she was going to leave that person. And her dad even came through. Let me tell you, her dad came through, Isaac Hayes. I said, do your dad look like Isaac Hayes, or does he like Isaac Hayes? She said, he looked just like Isaac Hayes. I said, girl, they just showed me Isaac Hayes. And then I said, well, he's showing me that you need to go to your aunt's house. You have a lot of family. She said, I do have family around. Yes. And so it, like, for me, it's not all one way. Like, I may be getting a psychic hit, a mediumship hit. I get it all kinds of ways. And I might use tarot. I do it all, because whatever Spirit tells me to do, that's how I'm going to do it, to give you your message, for you to get your message. Sometimes I'll hear the name over and over again. Who's Joe? Who's Joe? Who's Joe? And I'm like, okay. So then I'll say, is somebody out here with somebody, with a cousin or uncle or somebody named Joe? And then I'll give you the message. But I do what they tell me to do. I haven't had a situation where they told me to walk up to somebody and be like, listen, tell such and such that she need to go to, blah, 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 and do this or not. I haven't had that situation. I'm waiting on that day where I'll just be like, girl, let me tell you, I know, don't think I'm crazy, but do you have an aunt named Susie Mae? And she said, blah, blah, blah. Do you want the message? I'm waiting on that day. Like, I'm waiting on Spirit to give me my chance. And that's why I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm the Long Island medium. Because that's how the Long Island medium do it. And I just love the Long Island medium. She'll be, oh, you know, she get the rub her lip, she get the, you know, she about to give a read. That's me. I'll just be looking like, do she need to read? Does she need to read? Who need to read? That's me looking for somebody to tell. And they ain't gave me my chance yet. I'm waiting on that, and I'm waiting for the to look down is down. They'll be like, wait, I saw you online. I'm waiting for that to happen too. For somebody to be like, hey, you 856. Yes, that is me. You and I am waiting on those moments to happen. So, do we have any more questions? 369. Yeah, 369. Exactly. Listen. Hello. Listen, did she just say 369? That's what I need to do. And sometimes, like, again, whatever the manifestation is, I'll do it that way. Because I even do candle magic. I love candle magic because I'll do candle magic. I'll write it on the side of the candle what I want. And my grandmother, when she burned the candle, she only lit it when it was going up, right? So 31 to 59. She never did it when it was 0 going down, right? When it was going down to the time, she only did it when it was from 31 going up. So if I'm gonna light a candle for candle magic, it has to be at the 31 to the 59 of the hour, right? Right. So right now it's 1:49. This is a good time for me to light a candle. 31 to 59 because that's what she did when it was going up. I don't know why. I just do what she said because that's what she did. So that's the way I do it. I'll write what I want on the side of the candle. I'll use whatever color they tell me. They tell me white, I use white. They tell me black, I use black. They tell me blue. Whatever color they tell me, I do what they tell me. I write it on there. I light the candle. My grandmother used to light those 7-day and 3-day candles, and they never went out. There was always somebody in my grandma's house anyway, but we never put them out, so I never let my candle out. Once I light it, it's lit, and I let it burn. And have you ever lit a candle and you heard a little crackling and a popping? They said that spirit talking about what it is that you put into that intention. That's the spirits, conversing about what you asked for. So I studied a little bit about candle magic. I don't know a lot about it, but it has worked for me. So I use candle magic. Like I said, I'll write it on the side of the candle. I'll let it burn, and then at the end, within a couple days, a couple weeks, or however it is, it happens. Yes, ma'am. I've been told that it just means it's happening faster, right? It's just happening faster. If it goes out, that means that no, you're not going to get it. Usually, if it's done, or if it has black smoke on the side, that's usually a sign that you're not going to get whatever it is. Or if it goes out within the time that it's supposed to. But if it happens faster, then it's just letting you know that that whatever you're asking for is coming faster, right? Than what it is. And then now they'll even tell me what kind of candle to tell somebody to burn. Because there was a lady, her daughter had passed, and the daughter passed in 2015. And so and again, I don't like mediumship. So the way that my guys presented her to me was the little girl from Poltergeist. I'm so into Poltergeist. And it was a scene in Poltergeist where she's in the TV, she's going, Mommy, where are you? I can't find you, Mommy. And so this is how, so Don, we're on our live, and I'm hearing this, and she's asking, for a reading. And I'm like, oh shoot, this is the daughter that she's talking about. She's here. But this was a little bit different for me. Usually when it's mediumship, I'm talking directly to the spirit. I'm giving the message. Well, in this case, there was something that wasn't connecting, right? Because I was getting all the information about the little girl, but I wasn't connecting to the little girl. My guys were presenting it to me, and she just kept going, Mommy. And I was like, okay, well, were you not there when she passed? She was like, no, I was there. It was a car accident. I said, okay, did she not make it to the hospital? Because there seems to be a very quick way that she passed. Like it was like, you were there and you weren't there, and that's why she's confused because she doesn't understand why you're no longer here. She said it was a very traumatic thing, and the girl died instantly in a car accident. And so, for me, even though it's been almost 11 years, she hadn't understood that she was on the other side. So what they told me to tell the mom was to light a candle, not the jar candle, the 3-day or 5-day candle, the long skinny candles that you would put in a candle holder, to light that and put the intention of it into that I want my daughter to connect with me, or I want her to cross over. So I do it that way. And I've also learned that from Miss Julie, because Miss Julie will light a candle for people to cross them over to get to the other side when they're confused. Because this little girl seemed like she didn't know. I don't know that I can't tell if she couldn't understand that she was on the other side, or if she just couldn't find her mom, right? And so I was like, come back next week and let us know if that worked. lit the candle and you connected to her because they were showing me everything. I was like, do you have her necklace? Yes, ma'am.
I agree with you on that because I thought you were supposed to light the candle on top of the boat.
Exactly. But this has been 15 years, and so we were a little confused because in 15 years you should have already crossed over and found the other side. Right. And so I was telling her, and because she's like, I've been trying to get her, she was 9 years old. It was so sad. And this is why I don't like mediumship because I want to cry. And, you know, and the emotions take over. And so mediumship is just very emotional. And so I knew it. I could feel it coming through. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this reading. But I went ahead and did it. And I was telling her, like, you know, just go ahead. She's like, I've been trying to get her connected. She never connected for me. I can't talk to her. I don't know. I've written letters to her. I've done all this stuff. And they said they like the candle. So we'll see. Maybe she'll come back next week and tell us whether it worked or not. But again, whatever they tell me to do, that's what I do. However they tell me to do it, that's the way that I do it so that I don't mess it up and I don't put my own interpretation on it. And like sometimes, if I do, like one thing that Tina told us is, Tina from Everything Just Rock, is to always say whatever you're getting. If you see a purple unicorn, say purple unicorn because that means something to them. And once this was just even recently, as long as I've been doing this, I was doing a reading and I wanted it was something about a lady and they showed me something and I didn't want to say it because it didn't make sense to me. And so when I said it, so then she said it. And I was like, oh my goodness, they showed that to me, but I didn't say it because it didn't make sense. And it didn't. So everything that you receive, say it. Even if it's like, oh, well, like, a lot of times they'll tell you like physical description isn't necessarily something that you need to tell them, but it makes sense because the other day me and Don were live again, and he was telling this, he was doing a reading, and he said, "Who's the short, squatty guy or something?" You said about, and she was like, "Oh, that's my side piece." Side piece. Wait a minute, hold on, you got a real one and an extra one on the side. I said, delete that out the chat because we don't want nobody to know that you got an extra one on the side. So delete that. But we went ahead and did the reading, and he described who the guy was. He gave her, and again, this is a love reading. And we do not like love readings, but we went ahead and do it. So if it comes organically, that's how I say it's organically. If I'm doing your reading and then they show me that you're going to meet somebody, that you're going to whatever, I'll give it to you because you didn't come to me and say I want a love reading. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I don't know that I believe in the Bible so much anymore, right? Because there's so many different interpretations of the Bible. There's so many things that were kept out of the Bible. There's so much. So it's kind of like getting a cookbook, and it's kind of like getting an instruction manual to something, and they say, okay, we're going to put this in, but we're not going to put this in, and you're supposed to be following the Bible like it's an instruction manual, right, on how to live your life. But they decided that this book should go in and that book should go in. I have a direct connection to spirit, and so I've understood that when you're on the other side, you're not dead because the Bible says you're dead. That's just it. That's just the end of it. You're either going to heaven or hell, right? And so I just don't know that I actually believe in it the way that it's written anymore, right? I believe in God. That's one thing that people are confused. She doesn't believe in God. I believe in God. Wholeheartedly believe in God. Believe in a higher power. I don't necessarily know that I believe in the Bible as written. There's things that I've learned from the Bible that have helped me, that have that I understood that was misinterpreted a different way. But honestly, the Bible just like those things just seem like they were ways to keep you from connecting organically to your higher power directly, right? And so when it says that the dead be dead, well, technically they're not dead because all they did was drop this meat suit, right? They just dropped this physical body suit and they went over, and now they're on the other side of spirit consciousness, and they went back to the spirit life, right? And so if God is spirit, He's the Holy Spirit. Are we saying that only God is the Holy Spirit, or like there's so much confusion in the Bible. I just don't take it as a clear word anymore. For me, and so my communication is direct. Do I reference it sometimes? Do you still hear me say Jesus fixed it, or this or that? Because that's what my upbringing is, and all of that is still in me. But ultimately, I don't let it rule me the way that it used to, right? So I go directly to Spirit and ask because I have this direct connect with the Lord, which we all do, and that's how I get my answers from them directly without going to the Bible and reading something that was interpreted by somebody else who may or may not took his own liberties to say, oh, well, women, obey your men, women be okay, that women are property. No, I just can't believe that it's like that. And so for me, anytime there's a conflict between the Bible and what I'm doing, I go straight to the source. Straight to the source because remember the Holy Spirit is living, right? That's what they tell you, or that's how it is. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? So I'll just go directly to the Holy Ghost and ask. I ain't gotta read it in a book. Who want to read a whole book like that? Have you ever read Leviticus? Listen, let me say this. People be like, oh, I can't sleep. I'll just be up all night. Have you ever read Leviticus? Put you right to sleep. I used to be in the Bible like, immediately as soon as I start reading. Listen, listen, that is the best nighttime, that is the best sleeping pill ever, the Bible for me. Because as soon as I open, I get to read, and next thing you know, and I'm right on to sleep immediately. So if you ever need something to put you to sleep, try that Bible. It'll put you right on to sleep. Right. Good night. But again, that's how I deal with it. It's like, I just don't believe that it's true. It's not authentic. And there's so many different interpretations. There's so many different things that are in it that just don't seem true to me anymore. So I just don't. I just go directly to the source. Yes, ma'am.
The medium. Have you had the take over your body where
Yes. She asked, have I ever had the spirit take over my body? Yes. The very first time it happened, me and Don were live. So we're doing mediumship, and the person died from a heart attack. So spirit speeds up my heart. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking something happening to me. That was them showing me how the person died. I said, so this me, because Don probably was doing his reading, and I'm gonna latch on to what he's doing, right? And so they're telling me, oh, this person died from a heart attack, but they're giving me the heart palpitations. So this is me to my guys. Look, the next time you want me to know how somebody died, you need to warn me that that's what you're doing, not that I'm dying too, because I didn't know what was going on. That was the first time I'd ever had the symptoms come on to me. But one time I was in the shop and I was sitting there and I could feel spirits sit down over me, right? And so I'm like, Tina, I was like, I feel somebody sitting on me. Like I could feel their hands on my hands. I can feel like them all over me. Like I can feel them. She said, okay, well, we're doing psychic right now. Tell them to go and sit in the chair over there. What? Do what? So she told them, we're doing psychic right now. We're not doing mediumship. Tell the spirit to get off of you and go sit in the chair over there. And I'm looking at her like she got 5 eyes across her forehead because this makes no sense to me. I can tell the spirit to get off of me and leave. And that's how she taught us that we can control the spirit. So I have had a spirit try to sit on me. But I also have had them use me to show me the symptoms or to show me like emotions. Like sometimes when they want me to understand a mother's love, they'll show me the love that I have for my son, and I'll know, oh, that's adoration. Or they'll show me the love that I have for my mom, and I'll understand the emotion. So they use me like that. They use my mouth for taste, so I taste stuff. The first time that I learned ocean was they kept putting a salt taste in my mouth. I can see salt, and so I'm like, okay, I can't just taste the salt in my mouth. I don't know what it is. I understood that to be ocean, right? So once I understood it, every time I taste salt, that means water. That means ocean, salt water. So then they took it a little further. If it's water, it's emotion. So you're going through something that's emotional, right? So I understood it. So it went from tasting salt to understanding that it's the ocean to understanding that ocean means emotion. So as you catch on, they'll continue to pull you forward so that you are continue to expand how you understand and receive your knowledge. So then they took that even further. If the water is murky when I'm doing your reading, that means that it's an emotional situation that you're going through, but you don't see how to get through it, right? Because the water's murky. But if the water's clear, it's an emotional situation still, but you know how to do it. Like maybe you know you need to get a divorce, but you haven't decided to get the divorce, or you haven't pulled the trigger on it. So the more you get in tune with your higher power, the more you'll get in sync with how they're teaching you how to do stuff. And so don't always build on what you know. That taste turned into a vision, turned into something else. And so all that taught me how to understand if I'm doing a reading and I see murky water, I'm like, oh, you're going through an emotional situation. You don't know what to do. Let's see what spirit is telling you to do. And so they're looking at me like, oh my gosh, how does she know? Well, I listen to the clues that they're showing me. And my guys show me in a variety of ways. They'll show me pictures, they'll do songs, they'll do, it's kind of like whatever your database is, they'll use it. If you're a doctor, maybe everything comes to you in medical terms. If you're a lawyer, maybe it'll be legal situations. If you're a sports person, maybe it'll come to you as a sports person. They use the database that you have so that you can explain it in ways that you understand, right? So if you're a nurse and it's like, oh, okay, well, you need to explain to this person that it's time to move on or something, they'll give it to you in medical terms, like you're a terminal illness or you're this or that. So whatever your thing is, there's a guy who used to be in our class. He was in a band. So it's 2 o'clock, y'all. So if y'all want me to be dinner, I can do dinner. She control the time because y'all know how I'm going to go. Okay, keep going. Okay, and so they'll tell me they'll let me know how they'll keep me going forward and keep me expanding my knowledge and how I'm receiving my information, right? So, yes. Is there any more questions? Anywhere? Any in the chat?
No, none in the chat.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you
Yes,
gonna start doing readings on Sundays again?
Yes. I used to do readings with this lady named Sherry Berry, and then she like abandoned me and was going with and doing a live in the shop, but she told me that now she can do them with me live again. So we're gonna start. Is it 1 o'clock? Was we doing it at 1 o'clock?
Whatever.
You used to do.
I think it was like
Was it 1?
2.
I thought it was 3.
Was it 3?
I don't remember.
3? Oh, 3 o'clock. Good. There it is. Just let them know. So we'll start doing readings again live 3 o'clock on Sundays. Me and Sherry Berry in July, sometime in July. So we'll get it together. If you like, share, subscribe, and all that, you'll know because you'll see the alert when we come on. But we do free readings, usually about 2 hours. So me and Don do it from 6 to 8, and then me and Sherry Berry will do 3 to 5, whatever time it is. What's the website?
It's YouTube.
It's on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and
Instagram?
is that it?
Yeah, 'cause I
We don't really do Instagram.
Okay.
I don't think that TikTok connects to it. Otherwise,
Yeah. So it's A5 says, the letter A, the number 5.
It's
A5 says right there. That's that. If you go on YouTube and look up A5 says, you'll find it, and then just subscribe, and you'll see it. But on Facebook, I think it's Angie Lewis. It's not A5 says. And then on Twitch, it's A5 says. Yeah. A5 says. So yeah, we'll be going back doing live readings, and I love it. Does anybody have any questions here? Does anybody want to read here?
Does anyone want to read it?
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, you don't want to get on camera, right? You can just give her the thing, and I'll ask it.
I'm gonna go back to my booth.
Okay. I've already tapped into her energy just a little bit earlier today, and I was giving her some things. And again, if there's anything I get into that you want me to stop, I'll stop. Okay. So when they showed me you again, we'll go back to where we first started. They showed me you on a raft, right, in the water. But in this case, the water is not emotion. The water is your mode of transportation. So it's getting you from where you were, which was a deserted land with debris all over it, and they're taking you into the sunshine. So what they're showing me is that you think that your life is moving way too fast right now, right? You don't know where you're going. You're just moving forward. But what they're saying is you have the connection, but you just don't trust it fully. Am I correct? You don't trust it correctly. You don't trust it fully because you don't necessarily, because of all the things that's gone in your life. They showed me some of the trauma from your childhood. They showed me some of your coping mechanisms for the trauma. And your uncle came through, right? But, so now they're showing me, okay. You use crystals? Because they're showing me crystals. They're showing me you holding like an amethyst or some kind of crystal in your hand and connecting to that. Because I feel like you need some kind of tangible thing of protection to show you that you're being protected. Like one of the things that Miss Tina taught us was when we need protection, we just imagine that we're holding a ball, and we take that ball and we put it all the way over our whole body, and that's our protection, right? So I could just do that in a second when I put my protection on. Some people need something tangible, and because of all the things that you've gone through thus far, you need to hold something in your hand tangible that helps you to feel the protection when you're connecting with spirit, right? And so I may even have something that I can give to you, but and you're having trouble understanding, like, is this me? Is this spirit? Is this my conscious? Like, you're kind of wondering where the thoughts are coming from, right?
Yeah,
So that's how they're showing it to me.
I keep changing, so I'm changing. What I mean by changing, I'm not myself. It's like every day, my voice will change, my appearance will change. One moment I'm a female, the next minute I'm something different, and it's not making sense to me.
Okay, so the way they're showing it to me is just tell them, like, you're not comfortable with the changes, right? Give me somebody, like, just let me be me, right? Until I can understand how this is affecting me, right? And so, let me see what else they're giving to me. What's the are you looking to move to California?
We are thinking about it.
Okay, because they showed me California immediately. That is a good decision. The water, you need to be by the water, the salt water, right? That's you with the water, is that correct? So they're showing me the salt water. You need to be by the water because for you that cleanses you, right? And you feel like if you're near the water, it'll cleanse you over and over and over again. Anytime you feel like you're dirty spiritually or anything that's going on, it cleanses you. So yes, go ahead and move to California. That's a good thing for you. Is your worry about school? Was that the hold up a little bit about school for your daughter? Or wondering about school? Because they're showing me school is one of the things that have kept you from leaving. Is that something that's been holding you back?
No.
And thinking about where you're going to go. Is it San Diego?
No, it will be LA, but it was between LA and Dubai. So I lived in Dubai before, so I wanted to go back there. So we were just exploring our options, but we just went to California last week, and I thought maybe we'll do California.
So they're giving me California, but they're giving me more San Diego than California because California seems to be a little bit rough. I mean, they're giving me San Diego versus LA, right?
Yeah.
Because LA seems to be a little bit rough, right? And so San Diego will be a little bit more toned down for you. Is that correct?
For sure.
So that's how they're giving it to me, right? And so, you don't have people in California. You're leaving
We
to
don't
go
have
off on
anyone.
your own. Got it. Okay. So that's how they're showing me that it'll just be you and your daughter, and to go ahead and go. I know we talked earlier. You said you didn't want to do the medical field anymore, but that's how they're showing it to me. They put the stethoscope right around my neck and showed me. But again, there's many ways to do the medical field that you don't have to do nursing. You could, work in a doctor's office. You could be a healer, Reiki, all those other things. Because I feel like you have the touch, right? You have it. You dabbled in energy work, but you don't have control of it. Correct?
I never dabbled, but when that light came, this fire came out of my hands. So like this blue light came out of my hands, and I always believed that I could heal with my hands.
Exactly. So that's another way to do the medical field, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a nurse or a doctor or something like that. You could be an administrative person in there. You could do you could do the Reiki, you could do psychology, you could do all these other things. They're also showing me. Are you trying to get a car?
Yes.
Because they're showing me a car, like you needing a car.
Yes.
They're showing me you're needing a car. Wait a minute. Did you have a bad experience with buying a car from somebody? Because they're showing me like maybe you got a car, but it ended up being a lemon.
No, no.
So you haven't had a car because they're making it seem like you're looking for a car, but you don't trust or you don't know who to get the car from because you're not really trusting the salesman, right? I feel like it'll be a personal person. It won't be like you won't go to a lot. It'll be somebody, and it honestly feels like somebody's gonna gift it to you. Like they're gonna be gifted a vehicle. It won't be a brand new vehicle, but it'll be a nice vehicle. And the reason I'm saying that is because I had another client who was showing me her story where she was going to church, her car broke down, and somebody was like, "Hey, go with me," and they took her and they gifted her a car. So I do see somebody giving you a car. I feel like I don't feel like you'll be going in the summer. It'll be closer to December when you actually do get go. You're trying to wait because they showed me braiding hair.
I would never do it again.
You won't do hair again because they showed me you trying to make the money to get there with all the skills that you had, and they showed me somebody braiding hair. So you used to do hair.
I used to, but I stopped doing hair because fibromyalgia.
Oh, exactly. We didn't talk about that. Okay. I honestly see you being gifted the car and not having to buy it. Like somebody's just like, and I don't know if this is a stranger that's giving it to you or if this is somebody that you know who's giving it to you, but they're just kind of like, you know what, if you want it, you can take it. Like, you know, they're ready to be done with it. It's kind of like it's on the side of the road. If you can take it, you can take it, right? And so it may have some issues, but it'll get you where you need to be until you can get where you want to be. Your daughter, is math your subject? Because they really showed me you like with the calculations with math. You're not. They definitely show me you that you're not necessarily that you like it, but that you're good at it. You're not good at math. They're showing it to me clearly that you're very good at math and that you are like, because they're showing me the word STEM. So it'll be science, technology, engineering, or math. And so I see the math calculation. So I'm thinking that, yeah, you're going to go into that, but it's STEM. So I don't know what your interests are, but they're showing it to me like you are very good at it, like figuring things out. And they're showing me like calculations being going up in the air, and you're just being like, do, and you just really figure it out. So that could just be you understanding things, but easily. Like they make it seem like you are very, very, yeah, you're very smart. But they keep showing it to me as a math equation, so I don't know. Maybe you haven't gotten there yet. You don't have a lot of friends at school, correct?
I'm not in school.
You're not in school, right? Because they don't show me you around a lot of kids.
I'm in college, but I'm online.
I don't know because they're showing me the kids, but that you're not like you've never been in school because they're making it seem like not that you didn't get along with, but that you just kind of didn't fit in with them sometime in school.
Yeah, in the past, when I was
Oh God, okay. I'm like, wait a minute, they're showing me you at school. Hold on, I know. Okay. Are you studying nutrition? Because they show me like your healthy eating habits and you teaching other people how to eat healthy and how to do stuff. So have you thought about doing like a YouTube channel or doing something on social media? Because I see you telling people how to eat healthy, how to use the herbs, how to do things that would help them to just be more in tune with their body, right? So if you've ever thought about doing that on social media, they're saying that that's a good thing. That don't cost anything, just get online and do live. Do you have a specific question for me? Because they're making me like you have a question. Either.
I do everything vegan for the most part. And so it has been a question of what to do right now because we kind of don't know. We're just
get online and cook. You know what I'm saying? Show people how you eat. Everybody's very voyeuristic, right? They like to see stuff. So just, show you preparing a meal. Show you preparing, your, why you chose to be vegetarian or why you chose to be vegan or why you chose to be whatever. Just start, just do a video. Like this is what I'm eating, this is how I make it, and pop that up there. And it'll become popular. Like I also see a blog though. I see you writing a blog, like and giving out information in blog form too, right? So you're writing, but it's kind of about your experience, but it's also helping other people.
Yes.
Okay, got it. You
Yes.
have not started that yet, right?
No, I was
Definitely.
just about to ask you that.
Yes.
I know that that's what I'm to do. I just don't know how to do it without people seeing me. I'm kind of embarrassed, so without them seeing me, what to tell my story.
So with the blog, you can write it without putting your picture up, or you could do like sometimes people do it where it's them from like the waist down, like it doesn't put their face in it, or it's showing like their hands, or it's showing like some other kind of image on the screen, but they're talking over it. So like you could videotape you doing whatever, like you cooking whatever it is, and then voice over it without showing at all, right? Just like, okay, these are the ingredients. This is how I mixed it. This is how I cooked it. This is the final thing, right?
Yes.
And so it's just you without you having to. And then you AI, you can now type up the script and it'll read it for you.
All right.
So you can do that also. But I'll show you how I started my blog on blogspot.com. It took like a few minutes through Google to do it. But I do see that for you. Again, I do see you going to California. It seems like it'll be more around December. It seems that the housing is what they're not showing me. It's like where you're going to live and what you're going to do. But I feel like when you go, you won't even know. You're just gonna go. You're just gonna pack up and go,
Yeah.
and then you'll figure it out when you get there, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't see like, oh, this is the place where you're gonna live. They're just showing it to me. You're like, you know what? It's time to go. Let's go. And we just pack up and we just go. You are unfolding like you're getting better with your connection with spirit right now. You just need to tell them, you know what? Make it a little bit more consistent for me, right? Allow me to understand how you're communicating with me, what I'm supposed to do. A lot of times when I don't know what to do, I'll say, "What's my next step? Just what's my next step? Show me what I need to do next." And so that is some of the questions that you can ask. But I do see you trying to connect with spirit. Like it's not even trying to connect; because you are connected. It's just what to trust, right?
Yeah.
What voices to trust.
Because that's right now. I mean, I'm here today, but when I'm home, it puts me in this trance. So I'm usually in a trance, and I'm sleeping. Or if I go to church on Sunday, as soon as I hit the church, I'm like this. So I can't even keep my head up. It's not that I'm asleep. It's just I'm in this trance type of.
Do you remember when you come out of trance?
Yeah,
Do you remember everything?
I do. For the most part, it'll. I don't hear everything that they're saying, but I'll go in and out because I'm trying to fight it to come out. But it'll just.
Has it? They keep showing me a 5. Has this been for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, they keep showing me a 5. But this has been for the last 5 years, and you are trying to but it's going so fast. That's why they had you on water going so fast because you don't necessarily understand what's going on, right?
I feel like my time is going fast and I haven't moved. I'm just here, not going.
Okay. Our time is up on here, so I'll get off and I'll talk to you when we get off of here. But thank you for allowing me to do a little bit of a reading online for you. I love your energy. Thank you all for listening to my little spiel and hearing about my life. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you, Miss Julie, for allowing me to just go on here.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. I always love it when A5 says it's online and also on stage. She does a great job, so thank you very much. And thank you all for coming in. We do appreciate it. And we will get this edited and up and running pretty soon. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.